What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be taking down what Dokkan deems the hardest fight in history. So the Festival of Battles here has just released. So before we jump in and try to attempt this, there's a couple things I want to take a look at. So we'll go ahead and look into the event details, see about, a few of the things they might be warning us about to expect in here. And then we'll also take a look at the missions, and then we've also got the boss stats and stuff up on the website on the side that we can take a look at too. The cord is being all kinds of fun today, so we're just gonna have to be patient with that. Okay, so this is going to be a 50 phase fight. The final phase of it will be the 50th phase of the fight, so this is going to be quite a long fight that we would have to get through. We're going to be able to earn some dragon stones, a special wallpaper, some unique titles, so that'll be really cool. Okay, so we can bring two different types of support items. It's a challenge event, so there's no stamina required. Okay, so let's start here. The formidable foes in the phase will activate various skills that include nullifying super attack ceiling effects. Okay. And then, also talking about charges. So that is one of the main things that's going to make this really, really tough, is that there are specific limits to the number of charges you get to beat each of these phases. So not only will the stats of these bosses be going up more and more, giving them more HP pools and more attack power against you and stuff, you're also going to have a very limited number of turns to beat each of these bosses before moving on to the next phase. So yeah, it looks like phases 1 through 15, we're going to have only three charges, so that's literally one turn, and then from 16 to 40 is only 2 turns. For the majority of this event, I guess for the bulk of the rewards, we only need to get to stage 25, at least to earn all the dragon stones and stuff. So yeah, it looks like for the first half of the event is basically going to be 1 or 2 turn fights, going all the way through, and then it looks like it expands a little bit more towards the last couple of phases. And yeah, friendly reminder here that giant form transformations and rage modes also do count for charges, because charges will decrease even when your turn counter is paused during giant transformations and stuff. Charges will decrease every time you select key spheres. So these little cheeky gimmicks will not help you gain more time against these bosses. Okay, so then let's see here. After stage 30, you're going to start to earn unique titles, it looks like. These actually look pretty badass. I like these titles a lot. So yeah, there's going to be various increments starting at stage 30 going all the way up to 50, where we can get, all of these titles. It looks like this champion of the festival will be the one you get at stage 50, right? So then there's also going to be a title that we can earn. Well, cool, and then the 25 dragon stones. Okay, so let's glance at the missions here. Okay, so obviously there's some missions clearing all the way up to stage 25. It looks like 25 is when we get the wallpaper, and then beyond that, the rewards are actually very, very minimal. So it's just link skill orbs from 30 onward. So once you pass stage 30, every 5 phases all the way up to 50, you're just getting a unique title and then a pretty small amount of these link skill orbs, and that's basically it. So yeah, at least in today's video, I want to focus on getting us all the way through stage 25, and then, maybe, I mean, they said it's the hardest fight in history, so maybe we won't, beat it right out the gates here, but I at least want to get through stage 25, because I feel like that's where the bulk of the rewards are, and then, ultimately we could stop at that point, and we'll maybe come back in with another video. I definitely will beat all 50 stages at some point. Okay, so very quickly before we go ahead and actually jump in, let's take a look at the boss stats and stuff. I want to do this right away, just in the off chance that this takes us a million tries and we're already at this for hours and hours. I would rather, not be wasting those first attempts going in blind and not really knowing what to expect, right? Okay, so it looks like the bosses do start out pretty weak here, only like 300k attack. It's not going up by much, as you can see through these first quite a few stages. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't really ramp up that much. Another thing to note is that I already looked through the entire event, and there's no cheeky gimmicks throughout the whole thing. So I was actually wrong in my prediction that, one of the ways that I thought they were going to make this the hardest fight in history was that they were going to add character locking and you know, giving the bosses the ability to crit and dodge canceling and, you know, sealing our super attacks, all kinds of stuff like that. There's none of that in here. All of these bosses are straight up damage dealers with, you know, HP pools. That's it. And obviously they're immune to like a lot of the basic status effects, but that's it. There's no other special abilities really throughout the majority of this fight. Like we can see there's a little bit here. He gains some damage reduction throughout the fight and stuff. He can evade your super attacks, great. But these don't affect like your rotations or your characters or whatever. They don't exempt you from using certain kinds of characters in the event, right? So that is a huge thing to note. So yeah, as you can see, we're like into the second half here. The attack stats are still really not that bad. So we're not going to be like in super danger of losing to these boss attacks, so long as we're using stacking units that are going to be able to build up over these lengthy, you know, this lengthy event. So yeah, we've got that going on. And then as we get closer to the end here, okay, so we have a special thing here with the Beast Gohan. Looks like he has a countdown. After 24 attacks, he does a super that I imagine is something you're probably going to want to KO him before getting to. Oh, wow, and look at, yeah, the HP pools jump up massively at this point. So we're going from, like, 180 million, 180 million, and then as soon as we get here, we're at 400 million all of a sudden. And then that continues, 400, 450, 500, and then they just continue to get ridiculous. And, okay, so then now, here at the last, like, 5 phases, we're looking at the largest HP pools we've ever seen, like, double the largest HP pools we've ever seen, right? 900 million, 800 million, two characters at once that are both 800 million in the same phase. And then these guys have 2 billion each. Wonderful. And obviously the attack stats go up at the same rate here with just absolutely ridiculous stats. 700 million normals, 24 million on their super attacks. You're going to need to have stacked quite a bit by that point to survive these phases, that is for sure. Oh my god, he can super 3 times per turn. That's insane. Wow. And it's a 50% chance to proc? Holy moly. Yeah, these bosses are tough. But obviously, that's all the way up at stage 50. We might not be dealing with that today. Let me see. It doesn't actually number the phases here. So let's count to 25 so we can see exactly where the goal of where we have to get to today. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... remember, this is like one phase. If there's no bar in between, then you fight them together. So this is phase 6... 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and then PyCon would be stage 25. Okay, so we have to make it all the way to PyCon today. That's the main goal. And then anything beyond that will just be bonus. Okay, good to know. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and scroll back to the top here so that I can just keep track of all the stats as we go through. Let's go ahead and switch back into the game and get started here. Okay, so this is the team that I've come up with for this event. I'm thinking, you know, getting through stage 50 is probably going to be basically impossible unless you have the 10th anniversary fusions. Like, you're just going to need them. And then obviously the 7th anniversary EZAs are going to be huge for this as well because they are, you know, some of the best stackers in the game. So we're going to be prioritizing having all those units on rotation. And then at those last 2 slots that we've got there, we have the Namek Goku, who is also going to be a very, very good attack stacker throughout this event. And then UI Goku would be the last unit that doesn't really need to stack. Okay, so I guess I can get a little bit more into this as we go. We'll just jump right in and start fighting this. But yeah, that's the basic idea for the team build, is just to have all the strongest stackers in the game. And then we are using a Whis and a Bulma, because I'm not sure what's going to happen first, whether as we stack throughout this event, our defensive numbers are not going to be enough, or if our offensive numbers are not going to be enough. So I've brought an item for each so that we could potentially, you know, help buff either side of things. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so yeah, the way that I want to try to keep the rotations going, I know for sure that the 7th anniversary LRs are going to be the best stackers, so I want both of the 7th anniversary LRs to stay on rotation at all times. So now it's just a matter of who I want to keep on rotation with them, right? So remember about the charge counters. We only have 1 turn to beat this first phase here, and that's going to be true of every single phase, all the way up to phase 15, I think it said it was. Okay, so we have the LR Gods in slot 7, so they're going to live on this rotation. I think then probably what we're going to do is keep the LR Gods linked with Namek Goku. I don't know that I like that much. They don't have that many links together. I kind of like these two together. Yeah, I almost want to put the LR Gods with the LR Super Saiyan 4s. But that would obviously require us to rotate them off. I think that would probably be the best way to go. To float one of the Vegetos, float the Gogeta, and then float the UI Goku. And then have... Because I would like to float Namek Goku, because obviously he's not going to be as good of a stacker, but if we don't stack him, then he's going to be a fish by the time we get to the later parts of the fight, so we do have to prioritize stacking him a little bit, I think. Maybe we should prioritize stacking both Vegetos as well. Let's see. Let's experiment with it that way. So let me go ahead and reset to where we can have our rotation set up a little bit better just right from the get-go. Because I would hate to get to like stage 20 or something and then realize I needed like a little bit more stacking so that, you know, having the LR Gods in slot 7 and having the LR Super Saiyan 4s, I would have had to rotate them off in order to get them on the proper rotation. Could have ended up biting us in the ass, right? Okay, so let's see. Okay, it's a little bit better. We'll just run it like this. We'll rotate off the LR Gods and get them on rotation with the LR Super Saiyan 4s. That is perfectly fine. That's how we'll do it. Okay. So keeping in mind that the Tech Vegeto here and the AGL Gogeta are, while they're in base before we transform them, which we're not going to do for a very long time, they are going to want to be in slots 2 and 3 to get the extra additional attacks. So yeah, we'll make sure to make that a priority for them so we can do as much damage as possible, just considering the fact that, like, we only have one turn to beat each of these phases, right? And then we would just straight up lose. So we do want to try to be doing as many attacks as possible. And that's kind of going to be the biggest challenge with the fight, I'm thinking. It's just because we can't really control the orb selection, and a lot of these units, while they are great stackers, they also do depend on orbs selected, right? They're going to be doing a lot more attacks. You know, they get additionals in their kits based on the number of key spheres selected. They're going to be getting crit chance and stuff based on like rainbow key spheres selected and things like that. So the fact that we have to finish each of these phases in one turn, which means we move on to a new phase with a fresh key, you know, like orb field, that's gonna hurt a lot, and it's very possible that we end up with like bad RNG turns where the orbs just don't work out, and then we're not able to get off a lot of attacks with these guys. I could see that being like one of the most possible ways that we could just end up losing, right? Okay, so we'll put Namek Goku in the first slot here. Just to give myself a quick reminder about the differences between the 18 keys and 12 keys with these guys. Okay, so we're greatly raising attack and defense on his 18 key, and then we're only raising defense on his 12 key. So we do want to make sure to get the 18 key with him every single turn if we can. And then, is there anything else in his kit about a specific number of orbs? No. Okay, so then that will be one of our saving graces, is that as long as we make sure to get an 18 key, we don't really need him to select any more orbs than that. Obviously, other than the additional, like, minor bit of attack power that he would get from having the extra key up to 24. But there's nothing in his kit that gives him, like, massive power buffs at that point, right? Okay, so we'll do this for them. Yeah, we can't get 24 key anyway, so I guess we just do this. Does he even actually need 24 key? So another deal. We'll go ahead and just double check all of these guys so we know what we're working with. Again, we want to make sure to get the 18 key every time so we can get that great attack raise, as opposed to just the normal attack raises from the 12 key. And then, as long as we have 20 or more key, then we get this guaranteed additional super. So that's the main thing that we're looking for. Alright, and then I believe the LR Gods are set up the same way. Okay, so they're greatly raising attack and defense on both 18 key and 12 key, so that doesn't make a difference. But then as far as this, yeah, they're getting another additional at 20 key. So we want to make sure to get 20 key with both of them. And then I believe the LR Super Saiyan 4s are set up the exact same way. So there we go. We were able to get enough key for everybody. We don't have to actually go fully for the 24 key. And then I guess the only other unit we really have to double check is the AGL Gogeta and just make sure that we're getting to the proper key amounts for him every turn. And then we should be good to go. So this is going to hurt the LR Gods a little bit just because they're probably not even going to get to attack here. And then being rotated off, there's just going to be less turns overall that they get to do much. Oh yeah, I guess Vegito didn't even get to stack or anything either. So yeah, we probably do need to keep track of this as we go through the fight. Because these HP pools are so low at the beginning that a lot of these units aren't going to be able to attack. So it might be worthwhile to kind of swap who's in slot 1 versus slot 2 to give everybody kind of an equal chance to build up here. Because right now we've already gotten one turn worth of stacks with the LR Super Saiyan 4s, but then we haven't gotten those stacks with Vegito, right? So maybe we should go ahead and prioritize him in the first slot this time around. Oof, but then the only problem is... Oh, okay, we can't actually get the 20 key we need here. Yeah, let's go ahead and check the AGL Gogeta's, even though he's not going to be able to attack this turn, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we just need to get him up to 20 key. Okay. Let's see. That'll get them to 20 key. There we go. Oh, man. I wonder how many Dokkan attacks we're going to be launching. Probably quite a few. That will be interesting to see. Okay. And the crit just takes them down immediately. Wow. Yeah, I guess it is going to be a little bit tough for us to stack initially, huh? Interesting stuff. Okay. I guess, do we keep stacking Goku, or... I guess we should just go with that strat of, like, trading them out. Unfortunately, we can only get 19 key here, but he's not even going to need that extra additional, right? Because we're probably going to flatten him before that even becomes, like, a relevant thing. Okay, obviously he did get hit a little bit hard with that because he's got no stacks at all. So yeah, that even more importantly than, you know, building up this massive attack power to get through the stages in the limited charges that we have, I think it's going to be even more important to make sure that we do spread the love with the stacking a little bit, just to make sure that, you know, everybody gets to a solid number of defense. Yeah, because if we're already taking damage from supers this early on, he's definitely going to need to stack at least a little bit, but probably quite a lot, right? Oh, actually, you know, something interesting that I just thought about is that when Namek Goku receives an attack, he gets a guaranteed additional for the next 4 turns. So what we could do, because he still had it active that time from getting hit on the last turn, so yeah, that will actually work out really well for us. If we just keep him in slot 1 to take that slot 1 super, and then on the next turn we put him slot 2 where he won't need that and he'll still have the additional active. That could be a good way to run this. Okay, so we are still going to want to prioritize the LR Gods here, since they haven't attacked at all yet. So this is where, oh man, it's going to get a little bit tricky if we... Let's see, what are we up to right now? It's still 30 million. Everybody's still got 30 million. That's like the HP pool that we're working with right now, right? So the thing that sucks about that is that, like, a lot of these units that were floating are not stacking at all yet, and they're probably not going to be able to stack for a little while here, because the HP pools aren't going to go up until, what, phase 7, it looks like? Then they just about double, so maybe we'll be getting some more attacks in there. And then this very next phase that we go against, actually, phase 6 here, is going to be against 2 enemies that each have 20 million. So technically, we're going to get a little bit more that way. And actually, we should get an extra attack no matter what. Just because even if one of them has like a sliver of HP left like this, we would get the full attack that would only do that sliver of HP to them, and then we would still have the entire other enemy to attack on an additional attack, right? So it is kind of beneficial to have more enemies out here. I suppose unless you're using an AoE attacker, then it wouldn't matter anyway, right? Okay. So we've got all of our active skills available here. And Namek Goku is just stacking up so much faster. Because the enemy only has 20 million HP, I think we're going to do this. I'm going to put him slot 1 again. Despite that little strat that we just talked about doing with Namek Goku, we're going to go ahead and keep them slot 1. Just because on one attack, he's going to KO this guy. So with one additional, he probably would have just, flattened both of them. Which I don't think would be the best idea for us. So yeah, and the fact that we're taking like damage from normals and stuff is not good. He's going to need to stack up quite a bit more. So we do have to prioritize the Vegito at this point. And then there we go. I purposely didn't attack with type advantage because I want them to take as long as possible to get through these each of these enemies as we can, right? And we should be okay here. Yeah, being post-super definitely helps out. Getting those extra stacks in there, right? Okay, and then Namek Goku's going to get 2 stacks. But again, that slot 3 Gogeta is just going to have to sit there and suffer for now. So yeah, this, as you can see of kind of what we've been experiencing, this is the main reason why I decided to throw AGLUI on the team. And honestly, I don't know, it's tough, right? Because like this is like the team build that we would want, just because of all of these like these really strong stackers and stuff. But thing that sucks about it, oh man, we can only get 19 key with him. Okay, that's fine. It's not like we're to the point where we're in danger of not like KOing these guys, right? We're still definitely gonna finish the phase right away. But yeah, okay, so like ideally, like in a perfect world, in a vacuum, what you would want here is you would want 4 units that prioritize stacking throughout the entire event, because those 4 units you can leave on rotation on both sides. And then you want 3 units that don't really need to prioritize stacking, right? 3 units that have the ability to just straight up like behemoth tank through the whole thing, and are as good as they're gonna be from turn 1 at the very start of the first phase, right? That's what you want to see. We actually did like, hold up. We did like no damage right there. Wow, the type disadvantage hurt us a lot, I guess. Okay, we're still gonna be fine here because of the LR Super Saiyan 4s, but wow. That was nutty. Okay. A little bit nerve-wracking when, we do only have the 1 turn to finish this guy off. Yeah, so luckily we were able to get a good amount of orb selection with them. Obviously we didn't really get any crits with the LR gods, which hurt. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I guess with these slightly larger HP pools, now we're going to be to the point where we're sharing the love a little bit and everybody's getting to attack, right? I mean, that was still only our first 2 attackers for the turn. Okay. Maybe it could be smart to, like, swap the Vegetos. So, like, the one that's going to be rotated off right now, has higher stats. So we should rotate him off and prioritize the one with the lower stats so that they're evenly stacking. And then, what is it going to be, like every 5 turns or something like that? When we end up with this rotation again, we can just switch them. Maybe that'll be a good idea, so that we can just kind of evenly build both throughout the fight. Yeah, I guess. Okay, unfortunately, we're only at 19 key there, so 1 key shy of what they kind of need. And we also can't put Namek Goku in slot 1, otherwise we're going to be suffering from not having links active with that final one. Is that going to matter? I guess let's risk it. I don't think it will. Namek Goku has already built up a lot, so maybe we'll be okay here. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, so we did decide that he only needs 18 ki at most. And then we can just grab all of these to give him the full 24 ki. Perfect. Alright. That is kind of too much damage. And eventually we will get to a point, right, where, like, Namek Goku is going to be looking better in slot 1, obviously. So yeah, eventually we'll get to the point where we could just prioritize keeping him there. But right now I still do want to focus on these stacks as much as possible. Which is why I kind of feared putting Namek Goku up front, because he would have gotten the guaranteed additional. And with him having type advantage and being the strongest attacker on the rotation, he might have just fully flattened this Gogeta by himself, as you're seeing here. And then we wouldn't have gotten any stacks for our Vegito there, right? So it was definitely worth taking that little bit of damage up there to get those extra stacks. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the Super Saiyan 4s in the first slot here. That way we can get these tech orbs for the healing. Yeah, there we go. And that's, you know, going to be another thing to consider throughout the fight, is, like, as long as we are, as long as we're living each rotation, we shouldn't really have to worry about our HP level, because I imagine that eventually we're going to get to the point where selecting same type orbs is enough to just fully heal us every turn, regardless of where our HP is at, because of how massive our defense numbers are going to get, right? Okay, there we go. The critical hit, we definitely celebrate. We want as many of those as we can get, obviously. Okay, let's see where we're at here. So Rose, we're still at 55 million HP pool. Normals are hitting for 390k right now, and supers are 975k. Okay, it looks like we're going to step it up again at this next phase. We'll be against Super Vegito. We're going to be going up by 5 million, so it'll be up to 60 million HP. I've kind of lost track of the phase numbers of where we're at. I don't know exactly where phase 15 would be for us to no longer have to deal with beating it in one turn, right? Where we'll get the second turn of charges available to us. That's got to be coming sooner than later, though. I'll count it once we select all these attacks. Okay, so again, we're only at the 60 million. I think we're going to do this, though. We are risking the Namek Goku just finishing everything off here, but I think more importantly, we want to get Vegeta in that second slot, because I just want to make sure that we don't accidentally not KO the turn, right? And we know that Vegito is going to be stronger in the second slot, so let's go ahead and grab just like one orb for Namek Goku, I guess. I also want to try and delay that Dokkan attack as much as possible. I don't know that it's going to happen, though. It's fine. Let's go ahead and ignore the Dokkan attack for now. Oh, are we just going to do the Dokkan attack right here? We might. Wait, I would actually like to do it next turn if possible, so let me just select these with UI Goku. So that we possibly don't pop it. Ah, we did. Okay. No big deal, no big deal. Okay, well, this is basically going to seal the deal for the turn. And again, we probably should have had the Tech Vegito up front then for it. That's fine. I didn't think we would actually fill up the Dokkan gauge. I'm still getting used to the muscle memory of that Dokkan gauge since they changed it with the Dokkan 2 update. I really still think with all that blank space down there, it would be nice if they just added a little charge count to it so you could see exactly how many selections you have left before proccing the Dokkan meter. Would be nice. Okay, so PyCon is 25, then that's going to be 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, and 14. Okay, so it looks like the next time that we face off against Super Saiyan 4, Goku, and Vegeta on the same turn, that will be phase 15. Good to know, good to know. kind of an easy way to mark where we're going to be at. And then it looks like that will be the very first turn where we get 2 turns to finish the phase, which I don't think that we're going to need. I suppose the damage reduction has gone up a little bit as well, because on top of getting to just the 60 million, oh, that's another thing that hurt us. That makes sense. When we jumped from 55 million to the 60 million HP pool, we also jumped from 45% damage reduction to 50% damage reduction. So that's what we're looking at now. Okay. I guess we can throw the LR gods first. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of the beginnings of that example of how, like, if the orbs don't end up working out in our favor, then we're just a little bit screwed here. So there we go. We're not able to get the 19 or the 20 key with them. We do get the 20 key here, and then we're also going to suffer with Vegito in the last slot there, because we've only got the 2 orbs for him. So yeah, the format of this fight with the charges and stuff definitely counters this team, and obviously, you know, they thought about that. Because if we just had a free and easy way to be able to get key for everybody, then this fight would not be nearly as difficult, right? Oh, that's all they did? They only did 1 attack? Oh no. That's horrible. Okay, so yeah, like we're basically leaning on the shoulders of the LR Super Saiyan 4s here. Oof, this is rough. Okay, so yeah, barring no critical hits and stuff, we might just lose here. Wow, interesting, interesting. All of a sudden, I'm starting to think maybe it was a bad choice to have, like, Namek Goku on rotation, or, like, to have both of the LR Gods on the same rotation, or the LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s on the same rotation with each other. Maybe that wouldn't have been a good idea. Just because the Namek Goku is, like, our least key-hungry unit. Oh, gosh. Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll see here. We do get the guaranteed additional... Oh, okay, that crit definitely sealed the deal for us, so we're good. Well, that's lucky. So yeah, it's gonna kind of be like a bittersweet every turn, because obviously if we are getting to our 3rd attacker of the turn, then that's gonna be really scary, because we do have the potential not to clear it with only 1 turn to clear the whole phase. But then that also means that whoever's in slot 3 is going to be able to stack, which is a good thing, right? So, I don't know. It's kind of a trade-off. Alright, yeah, I don't really want to mess around with, you know, kind of how we were doing this before to prioritize Vegito being able to attack and stuff, and not having the Namek Goku just trample. I think we're going to throw that, that ideology out the window at this point. And we'll go ahead and just put him in the first slot so we can get that guaranteed additional. We'll do as much damage as possible here. And then same deal there. And we can try and select lots of same type orbs if that's going to work. Yeah, it'll be 19 either way, so let's go ahead and grab that. Just start building up that Dokkan gauge again. Okay, so we're still at 60 million with 50% damage reduction. It looks like that's going to continue to be exactly the same all the way until phase 15. Okay. Good to know, good to know. So yeah, basically the strength of each one of these enemies isn't really changing for the next couple of phases, other than them getting a little bit more attack power, it looks like. Yeah, it's just stepping up by a tiny bit, which obviously we should be able to scale with because of all of the stacking that we're doing. Okay. Yeah, so at some point this fight is pretty much just going to be like a rinse and repeat. And we'll basically be doing the same thing every single turn. Shoot. Okay, I think what we'll do here... Oh man, this sucks. Okay, because the LR gods have type advantage, I want to prioritize them being able to do as much damage as possible. So we'll put the LR Super Saiyan 4s in the first slot, And then hopefully, yeah, there we go. We can get a full 24 key with them, which will be good. But then that means that UI Goku's not even going to get a super attack. So yeah, that definitely hurts him. Oof. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Yeah, okay, so I think barring a loss here, if we do have to, like, jump back in, probably I'm not going to put the gods with the Super Saiyan 4s, just because both of them are so key hungry, and they're also key hungry for rainbow orbs, so I think I might want to split them onto opposite rotations, would be a good idea. So I guess I'll just have to look at the links and see who links better with Namek Goku. Put one of them with Vegito, put one of them with Namek Goku. And oh, actually, probably what we'll do is we'll put the LR Gods with Namek Goku, and then we'll put the Super Saiyan 4s with Vegito, just because the, that way we wouldn't have the LR Gods with Vegito, because they're both tech type. So if we did end up on an int phase and we got no crits or something, then that could end up spelling trouble for us, right? So yeah, that's probably going to be a better way to set up our rotations. I suppose it's also possible I could just switch in the middle here. I don't know how smart that would be, like, mid-fight to just all of a sudden switch like that. I mean, we do have so many stackers, at least we would be able to keep on a separate stacker. Oh, we didn't KO him, no! Ugh, okay. That's a bummer. Okay, really quick too, another thing that I want to look at is there was no item mission, right? Yeah, it's literally just clearing the phases. There's no items for, or no missions for, like, a no item run or anything like that. So then I think, hello? Thank you. Okay, so I think probably what the best idea is gonna be then. Yeah, so like I said, we'll run the LR Gods with the Namek Goku, and then we can run one of the Vegetos with the Super Saiyan 4s. And then we might as well put on, like, the Goku family support memory. This will give us a buff to all of the 10th anniversary fusions here, and then UI Goku and Namek Goku. The only two that wouldn't be getting it are obviously these ones. Okay. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. And then, yeah, hopefully with some stronger rotations, we can be fine. They're incorrect. Let me not waste the support memory on it. Let's jump back in because, again, we do want the Namek Goku with the LR Gods, not the Super Saiyan 4s. So let's jump back in and try to get that rotation if we can. And, of course, all the LR Gods are with Vegito. And slot 7 is not the unit we want. Okay. I guess let me make a quick cut here, and I'll get the rotations I want, and then we'll jump back in together. Okay, this should work out fine. Our first turn is a little bit funky, but it's alright because the LR Super Saiyan 4s are in slot 7 for us, so they will rotate around onto this rotation, and then everything will be set up exactly how we want it. Yeah, this should be fine for now, so... Alright, obviously we don't have too much to worry about for the very beginning of the fight. These first couple of phases are pretty easy. I don't think we're in, like, any danger of losing or anything like that. Okay, so we lost on, what, phase 13 last time? On that Super Saiyan Goku. So, I guess that's going to be the goal to get back to. Okay, yeah, so we have Namek Goku and the LR Gods here. They are set up properly. Because there's no slot 1 attacks, we can just put Namek Goku slot 2. Sure, that'll work out. And then we can get a full 24 key there. Awesome. Okay, yeah, so just because of thinking about the future of the fight, it's going to be a lot easier for Namek Goku to build up, just because he only needs that 18 key, and he's going to be most of the way to 18 key at the beginning of, the start of every rotation anyway. We are just going to try to prioritize stacking the LR Gods as much as possible, and not him. I think that's probably going to be the smartest way to go, because he is easily going to be catching up to their attack and defense numbers, right? Okay, wow. A really good first turn from them. Lots of stacks. I guess it was lucky we were going against an int enemy here. So that way they weren't able to just absolutely plow through, right? The type disadvantage attacks definitely are a good strat for the earlier parts of the fight here. Okay, we'll get the full 24 key for the LR gods. Grab all these for Vegito. Get these for Goku. Call it good. Cool. So yeah, this is probably going to be one of the scarier turns throughout the fight, is when we have the UI Goku there. Obviously, that was when we lost, was with the UI Goku. He is mainly there for, like, the much later phases of the fight. Just because I'm thinking that, like, if we have a non-stacking unit, I'm not sure how... I mean, I guess let's take a look at the stats on 25. So, it's 140 million HP. I guess it's actually not that high. Maybe it would be smart for me to take off UI Goku for now and put on, like, STR Super Easy A Gogeta. Because he's going to be providing attack support to the rotation, and obviously he's going to do a lot more damage than UI Goku. Maybe that could be a good idea. I was just thinking of someone that's, like, going to be defensively viable all the way through to the end of the fight, because obviously that STR Gogeta, if our goal was to get all the way through stage 50, he would not be the right idea, because he does not stack up or get better at all throughout the fight. Oh, shoot. This sucks. Okay, so same deal as before. Namek Goku is not really our priority here, just because he has type disadvantage anyway. So let's go ahead and just open up the orb field for the LR Gods to get their 24 key. I think that'll be smarter. And then, yeah, that sucks for Vegito as well. That's the most he's going to be able to get. Okay, I think the enemy's HP is still low enough that it's going to be fine, but yeah, so with, I guess, only 1.4 million super attacks, 500k normals, and then 140 million HP at turn 25, or at phase 25, the STR Gogeta can definitely still keep up with that. So yeah, maybe, barring another loss, we will switch him out, probably. But yeah, there's no way for, like, the very final phases of the fight that are all the way up at, like, those, you know, 7 million normals and stuff. He's not going to be able to keep up with that at all, right? So other than stacking units that can actually get themselves to those massive levels of HP or massive levels of defense, you're just going to need to rely on pure dodging units, right? So yeah, one unit that, like, I considered using would have been the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku that transforms. The only problem with it is that in order to get him to transform, you're forced to go through the giant transformation, which means he would have to KO the enemy during the giant form transformation, because you only get 3 charges, right? So getting him into the Super Saiyan 4 Goku form would be the most challenging bit, right? Okay, let's see here. Okay, I think we're going to go for this. We're going to put Vegito first, because I'm pretty confident that the Super Saiyan 4s would just flatten this phase. So yeah, that should be good. Yeah, we should be perfectly fine here with that. Alright, and then we're going to be on to phase 6 next here. Oh my goodness, the crit. The crit helps almost too much. Kind of don't want to see the crits, to be honest with you. Would be better if we didn't. At least at those very, very early phases, right? Okay, so here's a bit of a scary one, because we have UI Goku on rotation here. We are actually going to need to try do as much damage as possible, because we basically only have 2 attackers. Okay, so we'll do that. We will prioritize type advantage attacks here with them. And then we can do the same for that. Okay, because of all the type advantage that we've got available to us, we're definitely going to be okay here. I think we'll probably be okay regardless. Alright, and we are above the threshold. It's definitely nice to see us tanking slot 1 supers for double digits. Makes me feel like we have less to worry about for sure. And then we get that guaranteed additional with the Namek Goku is nice as well. Just ensuring that we'll be able to finish the phase. Alright, and then surely the LR Gods are going to be able to take care of this, no problem. Okay, and then after this attack, the power of the bosses is going to be going up here. We are back to the 55 million HP pools with the 45% damage reduction. Okay, so we've got the double Vegito turn. Okay, so this is that point where I was talking about potentially swapping them, like, should we put the weaker one on rotation? The only tricky part about that is that this turn individually will be stronger for the one that's not on rotation, right? Because being in slot 1 means they lose an additional super. But then it's just a question mark if they're even going to get to that point because we have the LR Super Saiyan 4s here. Okay, so they're actually not even raising defense at all. So they're not going to really be a viable slot 1 for us. They're only raising attack. Well, I suppose if we tag switch them, then they'll be raising defense, right? That should be the case. If we tag switch them, they'll be raising defense. Let me see. Yeah, then they're going to be raising defense. I'm not sure which is going to be more important, to be honest, for now. I think probably continuing to raise attack would be a good idea. So let's just go ahead and do that. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and just prioritize the one and not, like, switch them between rotations and stuff. Oh, the orbs. The orbs, dude. Okay. So yeah, obviously taking like a slot 1 super or something with them would be really bad, because they are only raising defense within the turn. Yeah, I'm not sure what the best idea is going to be here. Because at some point soon, like, they're definitely not going to be able to be a slot 1 tank at all. So on those rotations where we do have both of them there, that could end up being like a little bit detrimental for us, right? Okay, so I think we're gonna go ahead and do the same deal here with Namek Goku. Keep him up front. Yeah, I guess let's, okay, so I was being a little bit careful on the last run to not overcook, where we just, you know, basically get, oh, that's actually bad. The fact that he just got the fact that he just got that dodge means that he doesn't get the guaranteed additional. That kind of sucks. No, and he didn't get any additional at all. Okay, well, yeah, so I was saying, like, I don't want to prioritize making sure that everybody gets stacks and stuff. I think I will just prioritize whatever's going to be the strongest damage output for the turn. The only exception to that, obviously, would be if we have, like, one of those double Vegito turns. The best way to do damage output would be how we did it there, but then that obviously means that we're going to be susceptible to, like, taking a KO attack in slot 1, which would not be good, so we'll see how that works out for us. We'll see. For now, though, we're still sitting pretty. Okay. So yeah, here we can definitely just put the LR Super Saiyan 4s up front, just to make sure everybody's safe for the rotation. And again, UI Goku is not going to get a super. Oh, there we go. He can. Okay, who are we fighting now? We're on Rosé. Okay, we're getting close to back where we were. We're about 3 or 4 phases behind. After this phase, we're going to jump up to the 60 million HP pools with the 50% damage reduction. Things are just going to get a little bit harder for us. We are going to be dealing with some type disadvantage, too. That is a little bit unfortunate. And in fact, we're kind of unable to avoid that thing that we were talking about where, you know, we didn't want to have the LR Gods and the Tech Vegito on the same rotation in case we faced off against an int enemy, where they would both have type disadvantage, right? And it looks like that's exactly what's about to happen because of the Vegito that's floating, which is even worse because the floating Vegito hasn't been building up at all, right? So... okay, now hopefully Namek Goku won't dodge these attacks up front this time. That would be definitely helpful for us if he didn't. And then we can get the 24 key with them. Oh, it's the Dokkan attack again, even. Okay. I guess that's not the worst thing. Oh, wow, we are getting slot 1 super, though. But our defense should be plenty high enough. This isn't going to be a problem. Yeah. And then he dodges. Wonderful. Wow, that was going really fast. I did that horribly. I've also been trying to touch the screen very gingerly, just to make sure I don't wiggle the cord too much, because it was having all those disconnect issues at the start for us. So that kind of affected my ability to tap there. But it's also fine that we did less with it, right? Because we want to get additional attacks anyway, so... like, the Dokkan attack alone was going to ensure that we KO'd the phase no matter what, so... yeah, I think that definitely was the best possible outcome. Because there was a very real possibility there that then we would have just KO'd, and he would have been the only person to get stacks for the turn. Okay, cool. Now we are guaranteed going to move on to this next phase. Okay, awesome. Yeah, let's see what we're looking at here. Okay, not too bad. The orbs actually look pretty nice for us here. We're unable to get the 20 key with them for that extra additional, but it looks like we should be able to get 24 keys with both the other units, which is really good. Yeah. Okay, so there's one additional attack that we're not going to get with the LR Super Saiyan 4s here, unfortunately. But the Vegito and Gogeta are both going to have really good turns on this rotation here, so we should be fine. Okay, and then because there's no item missions or anything, I do have 10 turns worth of attack support because of the Bulmas that I brought. So I think as long as we do make it clear through stage 15, then we'll pop the Bulma on stage 16. That way we'll have that active all the way through turn 25, which is like where our goal is to get to here, right? I think that's probably going to be the best way to go. Okay, excellent. This is what, stage 12 right now? And we lost on stage 13 last time, so we're almost there. We're almost back to where we need to get to. Okay, we can grab all of those, get these, and then we've got some AGL orbs here for UI Goku, nice. Even an 18 key super for him. Fantastic. You know, because obviously he'll be building up ki for himself, but he needs to dodge in order to do that. And he has not been facing any attacks because the phase ends before he has to face any attacks every time, right? Which that's actually never gonna stop being true. Well, not never. Because once we get to the point where we have 2 turns to finish the fights, then that will change a little bit. But until that point, if he does get the opportunity to raise his ki by dodging, then we just lose, because that means that it was after, you know, the 3rd attacker and we didn't finish the phase, right? So we're not going to have that luxury this time around, unfortunately. At least until, you know, phase whatever we need to get to. Okay. so we're back to phase 13. We've got a better rotation this time for sure. So yeah, here's the point. I mean, I guess we do just, again, not prioritize the Vegito. Like, our Vegito. We just keep stacking up with that friend one. Sure. I guess that's probably the way to go. I just need to be really careful with the orb selection here is the thing. So we want to get him to 20 key. It looks like that's the only way to do it. It's just not going to drop those physical orbs very nicely. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, well, we're at least still able to make something happen with these purple orbs. Could have been a little bit better, but that's all right. This will still work. This will still work. And then we get the 24 key for him. Awesome. Okay, there's no way in heck we fail the way that we did last time. We should be perfectly fine here. Yeah, I think overall, setting our rotations the way that we did this time was probably better. Oh, wow. Yeah, he is mollywhopping them. His attack is going up by so much. That's quite insane. Okay. Okay. So now, again, we'll... We should probably put Namek Goku up front then, because the orbs are so bad. And then we can grab this one, which will allow them to get all these purples. It's going to suck a little bit for Gogeta, unfortunately. He's only going to have access to the one orb. Yeah, he can't even get an 18 key. Oh, no. Okay, hopefully we won't need it then, I guess. I guess. Alright, stage 14. We are technically on a new record right now. No new missions cleared until we cleared the next phase after this, though, so hopefully this is going to be enough. And then, let's go ahead and see... Okay, yeah, it looks like Namek Goku is, pulling out all the stops for us. He is... Oh, yeah, with the crits, too. That's definitely helping. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna pass this phase. Okay, so we were facing off against 60 million HP, and on this next phase, it's gonna be... The Goku has 40 million HP, and the Vegeta has 20 million HP. So we're still dealing with the exact same number of HP, it's just... At least you have to do one more attack because there's two enemies. And we have AGL UI here. Oof. Yeah, right about now, I'm really, really wishing that was STR Gogeta instead, right? Okay, so we're going to want to put the LR Gods, or the Super Saiyan 4s up front. And we really, really want to try to get those HP thresholds with everybody, right? Like, I would like to just select these orbs to save all those tech orbs for Vegito, but I don't think we can. I think we have to grab these for them so that they can get over that HP threshold they need to be at. And then the other question is... Shoot. Okay, we know... Okay, let's do this. I know this seems silly, but let's actually go with a type disadvantage attack here. Because we know that this Vegito is going to be able to flatten Goku in one attack, right? And we still can get the 20 key with them, so that's pretty lucky. He is going to be able to flatten him no matter what. We'll be fine there. And then hopefully his additionals will go onto the Vegeta if he's still alive, if we're not able to get any critical hits with the LR Gods, or the LR Super Saiyan Force. Okay, again, we shouldn't be dealing with a high enough super attack that's going to be a problem. I think our defense is straight up higher than their attack stat. Yeah. They're only damaging for like 1.1 million on super. So we're definitely okay there. Okay, even without a crit, we still did about half of his HP worth of damage. So that makes me feel a little bit more confident. Because the Vegito is definitely going to be able to take down Goku with type advantage, right? And then we still have the... UI Goku, who would have type advantage against this Vegeta. So yeah, we're definitely going to be fine here. Okay, and it looks... wow, we took them down, and we're even doing another attack on top of that, so... Yeah, we're definitely chilling now. Okay, yeah, this should be a pretty easy one-shot. Nice, there we go. Okay, so now we are at phase 16. So now we are dealing with 80 million HP pools with 50% damage reduction. And it looks like that will persist for the next 3 phases or so, and then we're going up to 90 million. Okay. How do we want to run this, though? So one option that we have here... Oh, and yeah, we're on to the 2 turns to beat the phases now. Okay, I guess because of that, so I was considering just like, oh, this should be the point where we start using items, but we do get an equivalent effect, which is now we have 2 turns to beat each of the phases, right? So I'm thinking with that, it's again going to get a little bit easier. Like the difficulty scaling just dropped down a little bit because now we get 6 units worth of attacks to finish each phase, and it didn't get that much harder. The damage reduction didn't go up at all, and the HP only went up by a little bit. So I don't think we will need to use an item. I think probably what we'll try to do, I mean, we'll just hold out a little bit longer. We'll hold out a little bit longer and see if things are looking dangerous. Let's go ahead and just experiment without the item for now. I'm pretty sure that we'll still be able to get through where we need to get through without it. Okay, how do we want to do this, though? I guess let's grab this 1 orb for Goku. That way we can get the 24 key here, and then... this doesn't look great. Okay, yeah, I guess we grab these orbs. So now that we have 2 turns of, you know, working with the same key spheres, like key board, we have to be a little bit more cognizant with the way that we select key spheres. Just to make sure that we're, like, setting up the board properly for the next turn, right? Which I guess could be a good thing, and it could be a bad thing, because if we are, like, forced to select a lot of the big chunks of orbs, then we might leave nothing for the second turn. But it also could be good, again, just because now we do have a little bit of a fighting chance to, like, help ourselves set things up, rather than just hoping it shows up correctly every turn, right? But that's obviously only going to be if we do make it to that second turn. It's still possible that we just straight up KO in the first turn, which it looks like we might do here. So yeah, I guess it's definitely a good idea. I didn't bother to use the attack items yet. Probably isn't going to be super necessary for us, right? But yeah, now we definitely don't have to... and in fact, something I just thought about. Because we have 2 turns for these phases, we definitely won't need to use an attack item until the point where we get to a second turn, right? So as long as we're just finishing it in 1 phase, then we know we wouldn't need the attack items. And then eventually at some point, if we get to a point where, you know, all of a sudden, oh, he survived the first turn, and then now they have another turn to attack, we can just activate the item at that point. Okay, let's see. So we do want to try to get the 20 key, which this will give them the 20 key, but it doesn't give them any crits because they don't have the rainbow orbs. But if I select all these, then the entire key sphere board just looks horrible. So yeah, let's go ahead and sacrifice the crits just to make sure that Vegito can get an actual 24 key off. It's not even 24, it's only 23. But it at least needs to be 20. That's the main thing, right? And then... Yeesh. Yeah. Gogeta's only able to get 20 here. Or 18. 18 at most. And again, the board does look really bad at the moment. That is super unfortunate. Okay, I guess we'll select... the... Oh, man. I'm just trying to think of what's going to set us up the best for the next turn. Probably this. Just trying to clump all those red orbs together might do something for us. We'll see, we'll see. And again, they are launching like 1.1 million, 1.125 million supers, so that's definitely not a threat for us. It does seem like the event is implying they want you to be increasing your attack as much as possible, and they don't really need you to be focusing on your defense, because the attack power of the enemies really doesn't ramp up until it just exponentializes at the very end of the fight, right? But yeah, the main challenge is going to be doing enough damage on each of these rotations. Which it'll be interesting to see if people create some team builds that can at least get through stage 25 that aren't built up of all these stacking units and stuff, right? I can't imagine that the only possibilities you have are to just beat this with the new, like, 10th anniversary units, right? There's got to be other team builds available than this obvious one. Okay, so there we go. Vegito is just way too strong. Definitely not a problem for us. Honestly, kind of makes me think maybe I should be running double Vegitos on rotation and not have Namek Goku as one of the main rotation units. Who knows, though? That'll be something to experiment with down the road as we attempt to get the 50 phase clear, right? Okay, let's see. So that's lots of good orbs for them. I think we're going to go ahead and see, how do the links change up? Does that worsen for them? A little bit. Does it get better for him, though? No, it's the same. So this is definitely the better way to link things. Okay, well, with that being considered, I guess let's just go ahead and give him the one orb, because then we can still do this undisturbed, right? And have more links active for the turn. Yeah, that's the better way to go. And then this, again, will screw up the key sphere, like, board. The key field. I really need to find a, like, common term, because I always struggle with my words every time I'm attempting to talk about the key field. I think that is the phrasing I should go with, is the key field. Okay, we are definitely getting there. We're about to approach stage 20. Let's see. If he's 25, then 4, 3, 2, 1... Yeah, we are on stage 19 right now. We're about to get to stage 20. So we've already gotten one more mission clear because we did get through 15 this time. So as long as we're able to beat this next phase as well, then we're going to be good. Oh, actually, with this phase right here, we did just go up by 10 million more HP. So we're at 90 million HP. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, we're on 18. I thought we were on the next one. So yeah, we're still on 80 million right now, but on this next one, we're going to go up to 90 million. Okay. And we still have been taking all these down in one turn, so that's not too much of a problem. Oh, and I guess that's another thing to consider with the Bulma attack items, because obviously you're getting 25% attack for 5 turns each time you use the item, so technically that's 10 turns worth, and I was counting that as 10 phases worth, so you would want to activate it on phase 16, and then you'd have it activated for the next 10 turns, which would take you all the way to phase 25. That's only true if you're one-turning all of these fights, because if you take an extra turn on the phase, you don't count up another phase, but you do count up an extra turn, right? So you would lose the attack item a little bit earlier. So I guess that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so again, we are facing off against the double type disadvantage turn. We hate to see that. And putting them slot 1 is starting to get a little bit more scary, right? So this guy has, what, a 20% chance to super, and it'd be 1.25 million. We would take a lot of damage there. Actually, I don't think we would be KO'd, though, so maybe it's still wise to just leave them up front. Though, okay, no, here's another thing to consider. He's going to get the additional attack in slot 2, and this final slot 1 hasn't built up at all, so his attack power is so weak that we don't really even need to depend on him to have links or anything. Like, that's not going to change his damage output much, considering his attack power is so low to begin with, right? So I think this is actually probably the better option. And then that way we can get the 24 key with them. That tech orb should drop. And then we can get enough orbs with him. And we can at least get a super attack off with these guys, right? And then that will open up the board. In case we do go on to a turn 2, we've got all those purples to select. Yeah, we should be chilling for the next turn as well. Alright. Yeah, I guess we just have to hope for, like, lots of additional attacks from these guys. There's really kind of a lot of RNG that goes into this, right? Some of it is a little bit controlled based on your ability to select what you can on the key sphere, on, like, the key field, but, again, it just depends what orbs show up. And then, you know, while depending on all of these additional attacks, like, sometimes they don't proc. But yeah, it looks like our attack power is kind of outclassing the enemy's HP right now. Okay, yeah. Not bad. And that's, you know, with the singular super attack from them, they definitely had a couple more coming. And they're just getting stronger every turn, too, so. Okay. Okay, I guess that's probably the best idea here, and then we can grab all these for the gods. Perfect. And then, actually, for Gogeta, we can just get these on the side. Wow, yeah, the key field actually looks really, really good this time. Okay, we get that guaranteed additional, which helps out. So now we are solidly into... Oh, okay, so we're still at 90 million, as same as the last phase, but the damage reduction went up. So we're at 55% damage reduction this time instead of just 50. So it is getting a little bit harder. Yeah, it looks like things are going to creep up again on the next phase. The amount of HP that we're facing off against. Okay, so far so good, though. We should still be... I can imagine we still are going to be one turn clearing these phases. Which honestly is not good, right? Because the more turns it takes us to clear these phases, the more stacks we're going to get. So the fact that we're only doing these in one turn just means that we have less attack power going into each subsequent phase afterward, right? So it really wouldn't be the worst thing if we did have to take a second turn on one of these phases. The only thing that really would have been hurting was like the, you know, the amount of turns we have, or amount of phases we have items active for. But since we're not even using items at this point, going as slow as possible really would be ideal. Okay, and we are getting some slot 3 attacks in here finally. Wowza. Very rare that we've seen that throughout the course of the fight so far. But that is very good. Unfortunately, he didn't get the additional super, just the additional normal there. That would have been nice. Just for that one extra little bit of attack power, right? Okay. So. We've got a couple of options for orb selection. I think I'll probably go with this for the Super Saiyan 4s. And then, yeah, this will be fine for Vegito. We have to do that, and then Goku doesn't even get to attack. Okay, so again, on the off chance that we don't finish this in one turn, we will just open up all those physical orbs for the next turn there. Okay, their attack output hasn't gone up by much, 1.3 million, so we're still outclassing them. Super attack damage to defense ratio. This phase is exactly the same as the last. Oh, no, it's not. We have another 10 million HP. So we're now dealing with 100 million HP and 55% damage reduction. And it looks like the next phase is going to be the exact same as that as well. Yeah, so it looks like for all of these phases where, like, the HP and the damage reduction are exactly the same, the thing that creeps up is, like, the attack output, or their defense or whatever goes up just by a little bit, but that hasn't been affecting us too much anyway. That usually doesn't, like, matter too much. I think the main things is the HP and the damage reduction. Okay, yeah, and Vegito is just way too strong. Wow. He really kind of is the ace in this event. I think, honestly, a more optimal version of the team probably would be keeping both Vegitos on rotation on both sides, and then not even running Namek Goku. Because I don't think Namek Goku is going to be a viable unit to have on the team if you're just floating him the whole time. Because, like, look at this as a perfect example. He would be where this friend, or, well, I guess it's my Vegito, is at. He just hasn't really stacked at all, and the fight's half over already, right? So he's just not going to be getting to those really impressive numbers. And really, the only reason that the other Vegito is here is for the leader skill, right? But yeah, the Namek Goku definitely could be switched out and put in place of him. The only nice thing about it is that the Namek Goku has a lot of defense, so he can go in slot 1. But, like, obviously we don't really need that, because the LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4 stack their defense so high so quickly that they can both be dependable as our slot 1 units. So yeah, I don't even know that Namek Goku is, like, optimal or viable for this fight. Alright, let's go ahead and put the Gods slot 1, just because we have all these orbs to select for them. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. And then we can grab all these orbs. And we'll have a nice setup for Vegito here. This is going to make the reds and blues fall nicely. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we are on phase, what, 21 at this point? 25, 4, 3, 22. We're on phase 22. So we have, I guess when we did the STR Gogeta, that was when we got past stage 20 there. So yeah, we're on 22. We are almost there through the end of the fight. Looks like we're going to be able to get... We should be able to get through stage 25 here with no issues. And then I guess we can just try and continue on as much as possible. We're not going to see an increase in the amount of charges available per turn until phase 40. So that's like way later down the road. But we still haven't even seen a turn yet where we, you know, didn't manage to clear it in one turn. So I think we're still quite a long ways away from, like, failing the fight without items. So yeah, I guess once we pass 25, there's no sense in, like... Because I did consider, like, just to ensure we get through stage 25, that we could just start launching active skills and things like that to get us there a little bit safer. But I think that would probably be kind of a waste. The run is going pretty good so far, so we might as well see how far we're going to get. It looks like stage 25 is pretty guaranteed for us, unless something majorly bad happens between now and then, right? But obviously we would have to have 2 bad turns of RNG in a row for that to happen. Since we can see that the power of our team is still capable of KOing in 1 turn. Okay, yeah, this actually looks really good. So if we grab all these, they're going to be at the 20 key. Oh, it's another Dokkan attack as well. Okay, and then they'll be at 24 key. Perfect. And then we can get these for them. Awesome. Okay, so... Let's see, we went up another 10 million HP. Attack power is still not capable of keeping up with us. We're, in fact, running away on that front. Our defense is getting so much higher than the super attack output that the enemies are doing. We don't have to worry about taking damage at all. Okay, there we go. Did a little better with the Dokkan attack selection that time. Okay, yeah, so just a bit more HP than before, and it looks like the next phase is going to be exactly the same with the 120 million, and then that final phase goes up a bit more. Okay. I mean, I say final phase, but it is just phase 25, which is the ultimate goal, right? To get the, all the Dragonstone missions cleared. Alright, well, I'm glad that we fully selected all the Dokkan gauge thingies this time, because that didn't even do 50% of the damage that we needed to do for the turn. Okay, getting a lot of additionals in here is definitely going to be more and more necessary as the turns go on, right? But Vegito is definitely going to kick some major butt here. He's up to 60 million. Wow. Yeah, his attack stat is probably going to max out during the fight at some point. And now it's looking better than ever that we have, that we're keeping the LR Super Saiyan 4s in slot 1, prioritizing attacks for them, because Vegito is able to stack up so much easier, right? His attack power is just blowing them out of the water at this point. Okay. Let's see. This was the moment where, yeah, okay, so we definitely want to keep the gods. It seems like pretty much no matter who's in slot 3, the gods are going to be linking a little better in slot 2. And we still have enough defense here to work with that either of them can be in slot 1. Okay, so all that considered, let's go ahead and grab these orbs for Namek Goku. I want to keep all these rainbow orbs available. Are you kidding me? The way that fell, they can only get 19 ki instead of the 20. Ugh, that's actually annoying. Okay. If I grab all these, there's still going to be a decent amount of orbs for the next turn. Yeah, because of the way the reds fall, that works. But yeah, we do want to prioritize keeping Namek Goku in slot 1 as much as possible just for that additional attack that he gets. It doesn't proc every turn, obviously, because it'll last for 4 turns, so it'll be every other turn. But just to make sure that we never have a turn without it, it's probably smartest just to keep him in slot 1 where we can. Okay, so this might be the first turn here where we're looking at not clearing the phase in 1 turn. We did get decently unlucky with the orbs here, so we didn't get that 3rd super attack from Namek Goku, which sucks. And we're missing out on 1 guaranteed additional from the LR Gods because we didn't get to the 20 ki, right? And then our 3rd unit, being the UI Goku, hurts as well because he's a unit that hasn't been stacking, so his attack power is going to look a lot lower than the rest of these units. And in fact, he didn't even get an 18 ki this time. So I guess one benefit of this is he's finally going to be able to raise his ki because he'll get some of these, he'll get to dodge some of these attacks coming up here. All right. There we go. Okay, so now it's going to be really, really easy for him to attack every turn. We're never going to face one of those turns again where he doesn't get a super. But as you can see there, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so now here's the point where we have to stop for a moment and consider using an item, right? Vegito's attack power is just insane. I don't think we're going to need it, to be honest. I think we can still keep holding out here. It is a little bit scary that the LR Super Saiyan 4s don't have type advantage, and we're not able to get any rainbow key spheres with them either to give the extra chance for the critical hits. But I think we're just going to go ahead and pull the trigger, do it like this. We can still get the 24 key for the friend Vegito, which is perfect. And then we can get the 24 key from mine as well, which obviously shouldn't end up mattering, but worst comes to worst, at least he's able to have that rather than anything less. Alright, so we're upwards of 20 million with their super attacks at this point, which is pretty nice. They have been stacking pretty well. Okay, yeah, we definitely made the right choice. There was no reason we were going to need to use an item. They are still hanging in there quite a bit. Alright, and then this very next phase is going to be 25. So that will be our goal achieved as long as we're able to clear this next phase. Wow, they actually did a lot more damage than I thought they were going to with type disadvantage here. They kind of almost finished him off. And they probably would have if we were able to select a couple of rainbow orbs there to get them some crits, because that was with no critical hits. They still did almost like 3 bars of damage. So yeah, that was quite good. Okay, here we go. Phase 25, which is now only turn 26, because we've only had 1 phase so far where we didn't clear it in 1 turn, right? Okay. So yeah, I guess same deal. Let's double check. The, oh yeah, the keys... The links are actually slightly better here. And Namek Goku still has his additional active right now. We can see that on here. Yeah, he has the little additional symbol, so we actually can safely put the gods in slot 1 this time. That's barring that they're able to get 20 key. They can't get 20 key, so we do have to move them down Because we want to make sure to get that 20 key with them. Oh, this sucks. Okay. We have to be really careful with the way that we select the orbs here for that to happen. So it's possible that if I select these orbs... No, I think the purples are going to pinch off the blues at the top. I don't think that's going to work. I think in order to get the 20... Oh, what do we do? Do we have to do this? I think we still risk those purples cutting off at the top. But I think that's the best option. Let's see. Do the blues connect? They do. Okay, there we go. So we're able to get the 24 key with them this way. And then these greens should give them enough... Well, it's only an 18 key, but it's something. Okay. That'll work. So the only thing that sucked there is we had to sacrifice the rainbow orbs with the gods, right? So that means that they're not going to be doing crits, which sucks a little bit. But getting them the guaranteed additional is definitely going to be more important than giving them the little extra chance to critical hit, right? Oh, yeah, and also we're working with 20 million more HP. We're up to 140 million total now on this phase here. All right, let's see how we do. Definitely still possible that we can get through it in one phase or in one turn. But it isn't super, like, necessary. And I guess at this point, it's not the worst thing seeing all these slot 3 units get the chance to attack, right? So that they can actually start to build up and do some damage here. Because we are getting to the point where it's going to be really necessary for all the units on the team to start building up. Rather than just the first 2 attackers in the turn. Alright, well, the LR Gods did really good there. Wow. Yeah, so it looks like it might still just be one turn. Yeah, because with Gogeta's additional, that'll definitely be enough if this isn't. Yep. Dang, and again, it's an additional normal. That happened the last time we got the opportunity to attack with him, too. Okay, so there we go. We did phase 25. So that means we've gotten all the Dragonstone missions cleared, and then from this point, we're just going for those extra missions that are going to give us the Link skill orbs and some unique titles. Okay, so now here on phase 26, we are dealing with UI Goku has 50 million HP, and the Vegeta has 80 million HP. Now, here's the scary part. So, Vegeta's going to be getting a little bit of damage reduction with each attack received, and then Goku has a 10% chance to evade. That is going to be huge. Goku's evasion could cause you to get KO'd. Because, I mean, a 10% chance isn't likely, but it is also possible for him to just evade every single attack for an entire turn, right? So it makes sense why they gave him a little bit lower of an HP pool. But yeah, we don't have, like, any attacks guaranteed to hit or anything, so that could end up causing us problems because of the charge counter, right? So that's definitely something to consider. Alright, so... I guess... Oh man, this is going to be a really bad turn for orbs. Like, we definitely want to do this. Let's do this on him. We want the strongest attacks possible to go in on him immediately. Just because he's going to be gaining... You know, he's going to be gaining the, damage reduction. 6% per attack received, up to 18%. Oh man, this sucks. I guess, do we do... Yeah, we don't... I mean, we don't really have a choice here. We kind of have to do what we have to do. Let's just hope that, like, the one singular attack at the very beginning for him would just flatten UI Goku immediately. That's what I'm hoping for. And then, to set up orbs for next turn... Because I think it's pretty likely that we don't finish this off in one turn here, especially with the bad orb selection with Vegito. We'll just do that. I did think about putting Vegito slot 1, and now I'm kind of glad that I didn't. Just because we would have gotten absolutely rocked by this super attack. They're up to 1.4 million, so the fact that he only has like 300k defense definitely would have hurt him, right? Okay. So he gets a little bit of damage reduction, just making all these subsequent attacks not do quite as much. Yeah, wow, turn 26 is actually pretty rough here. Wow. Or phase 26, rather. I guess we just have to keep in mind we do still have 2 turns to take all these guys down, right? So we're not down for the count just yet. We're still looking on track, but it's going to depend on the dodges from UI Goku and stuff too, right? From the like enemy UI Goku is mainly what I was referring to here. All right, please connect. All right, there we go. The attack connected, so that should be good enough to ensure that we like survive here. Okay, and then I guess if we get one more attack. Oh, it's a normal. Oh, but that actually did a lot of damage. Even just being a normal attack, because his base attack stat is so high at this point, right? So then I guess, yeah, this is still going to finish them off in the one phase. Cool. Wow. All right. I did not expect to get through that in one phase, to be honest with you. I thought it would have taken the second turn for sure. Okay. So this is a bit of a sucky thing. There's no... Damn it, Goku doesn't have his extra additional, and he can't get it. He actually can't get the extra additional attack because there's no slot 1 attack to give him that. Oh, well, actually, as the second or third attacker in the turn, he does launch the additional, so we just have to put him slot 2. So yeah, I guess because of that, it is smart to let him take the attack on the first hit and then put him slot 2 where he can get the extra additional and the extra attack power. Interesting, interesting. Okay, maybe I've been kind of misplaying with this unit the entire time. It hasn't really mattered thus far, but that is true that I have been misplaying. Okay, so we'll do this for the gods. First, let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. So now, instead of it being 50 million and 80 million, they both have 80 million HP. 60% damage reduction is exactly the same, and then they lose those special abilities with the dodging and the damage reduction and stuff. They just have a little bit of extra HP to deal with. Okay, good to know, good to know. Alright, so we need to avoid doing type disadvantage attacks through the entirety of this turn, which means we're going to go type neutral. So we'll go attack on the physical one here, and then we can attack on the int one here. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we can attack again on the physical one here. Perfect, and the orbs are still good enough for us to have some good selections on the next turn. We should be fine. Okay, so yeah, 160 million HP total to take down here. Split between 2 enemies makes it a little bit harder. Okay, that makes sense. And then it seems like on the next phase, when we go back to facing a singular enemy, the HP drops just a little bit. It'll be 140 million overall, which is in total less. Okay, wow, up to 35 million with him. His attack is stacking very nicely as well. Okay, so yeah, this is we're probably not going to do the one turn clear here. We're definitely still going to win the phase, just because we have the entire next turn as well. But yeah, there's no way. With just these type neutral attacks, there's no way. Yeah, and the unbuilt up Gogeta, or Vegito, in the final slot here, we'll be lucky if he even KOs this Goku. I mean, he's up to 19 million. That's not, like, completely worthless, right? Okay, I guess, yeah, well, maybe I underestimated him a little bit. He is starting to get some stacks in there. He's had a few turns where he's been able to attack at this point. That's nice. Okay, the triple super attack turn definitely helps. Still not going to finish this in one turn here. Still going to need a little bit of extra help. But it's nice to start getting some stacks on that. Floating unit. Okay, and then I think I would rather prioritize getting the stacks for the LR Gods, because they're not hitting quite as high of attack stats as the Vegito is here. So yeah, we'll go with that for them. And then we'll get him in slot 2. Just grab those, that way we can get some same type orbs here. Try and get back to that next Dokkan attack as quickly as possible. Though, I don't know how many more we're going to have left. I guess it's going to depend on how many of these phases take us 2 turns versus 1, right? That's going to be the biggest thing. Oh man, we have a really scary phase coming up. Oof, okay, we're not even going to talk about it until it happens. Okay, so Super Gogeta here. We've got 140 million HP. Attack power is 520k. Super attacks are 1.4 million, 60% damage reduction. So yeah, the attack power is still not something we're going to have to worry about much at all. Okay, we did get his the Namek Goku's ability activated last turn, so he's got the additional. So we're going to keep him slot 2 this time. Though unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get the extra additional from the LR Gods here. But it looks like even with one, like if we were to do this and try and free up the board, we still wouldn't. Oh, actually, that's not true. Because they get the extra 2 key from being linked with UI Goku. So then that would give them enough. Because with 3 orbs... No, they'd be at 19. So they would still be under. Okay, so then let's just do this. They would still be under the 20 key and not get the guaranteed additional. So we'll provide the guaranteed additional to Namek Goku instead. Okay, and then at this point, I'm pretty much going to plan for there being a turn 2 every single time. So because of that, we're going to select this orb here. Probably will be the best to make the board look the best for the next turn. Yeah. Okay, so we're missing out on one of the additionals here. They're probably not going to do too much helpfulness for us. We also didn't get any rainbow orbs with them, so it was lucky to get that crit there. I think they only have, what, a 30% chance to crit in base? Okay, and then it looks like the next phase is just increasing the defense a little bit, and that's it. So same amount of HP, same damage reduction and all that. And then the following phase after that is going to be the scary one. We have a a kind of a scary moment coming up. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, though, and focus too hard on it. Oh, yeah, also, I need to keep track of what phase we're on. So PyCon was 25, that's 26, 27, 28. So we're on phase 28 right now. Okay, yeah, definitely a good idea that we, gave Namek Goku the extra additional, right? Oh, yeah. He is performing quite insane for us. This could have been a 1-turn clear had we gotten better selections with the LR Gods. Could have been. But yeah, it looks like it will take the second turn to do this as well. But I guess we don't really have to be too scared about the, you know, second turn clears until we're getting to the point where after the first turn, we've barely done 50% of the enemy's HP, right? Because we've still done most of the HP here, so we know for sure we're still clear for takeoff. Alright, yeah, we'll make this super simple. Just keep them up front. We only have one option for a slot 1 unit, because as you can see, their defense is still dramatically low, right? They haven't been stacking it at all, so that is definitely not going to do them any service. Alright, and this should work out fine. I would imagine that the LR Super Saiyan 4s are going to have enough attack power on their own here to clear this out. And that should do it right there, yeah? Let's see. Yep. Perfect, perfect. Okay. So yeah, we're looking at basically an equivalent stage to what we just faced off against. Oh man, this hurts again. Okay, so we gotta put the gods in slot 1. Yeah, we have to because there's no slot 1 attack for Namek Goku, so he needs to get the extra additional from being in, you know, from being in slot 2 here. Okay, and then setting up the board for next turn is going to be a little scary too. We could try and nerf multiple units on this rotation. I think I'm going to do... Oh man, that's really scary. Yeah, I guess let's go ahead and nerf multiple of them. Sure. I don't know if it's the best plan, but it's what we're going to do. We're going to nerf him. That way we can have a guaranteed good orb selection for the next units coming up here. Just because we know we're going to go to that second turn anyway, not getting the guaranteed additional from the LR Gods. And then it looks like even on, I mean, the enemy's HP is getting to the point where even on a good turn, we're still not quite looking powerful enough to finish them off in one turn here, right? So yeah, I think planning for the second turn is definitely smart against the units that don't really require the extra key spheres. And then obviously, like, the Gogeta would have done a little better this turn had we given him those key sphere selections, but he hasn't been stacking quite as much, so his attack stats aren't as high. It's not as important for him to get a good, you know, bunch of key spheres as the next 2 units on the other rotation, right? And I'm honestly kind of second-guessing what I said earlier about Namek Goku, just because of the abilities and his passive allowing, like, guaranteeing him to get so many additional supers. Like, he is probably one of the better units for this. So that whole strat about how I was saying maybe don't use Namek Goku and just instead go with the double Vegetos on rotation probably isn't the right idea. I think Namek Goku is maybe one of the best for this team, you know, or like for this event to be able to stack and stuff. Okay, so I think for the very first time we are hitting a point here where we barely got the enemy down to 50% HP by the end of the rotation. Well, like, actually still a little solid bit under, like an entire bar under. And then now we've got some type advantage to work with and the strongest attacker on our team, right? So we're definitely going to be chilling here. Yeah, there's no way that we don't clear this phase. That, I think, would be an impossibility. And then again, we grab the same type orb to try and get the Dokkan gauge filled up as much as possible here. Okay, so the next the next phase is the really, really scary one here. How many... Okay, I keep losing track of, like, what phase number we're on. So that was 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so it's phase 30 here. Phase 30 is looking really scary because the enemy has a specific ability that I know historically has been trouble. So, we're facing off against STR Kid Buu, and so that fated ability is going to be that he nullifies damage from unarmed super attacks. So before we go into strategizing anything, we need to double check what types of super attacks all of these units do. Because he is going to straight up take 0 damage from any of the unarmed supers, right? So the unarmed supers are the ones we see here with the fist symbol on them. So their 18 key is going to do damage, but all of their additionals are not going to do any damage to him. Namek Goku, same thing. His 18 key will do damage, but his additional attacks will not do anything. Let's see. Vegeto's 18 key is not going to do anything. His 12 keys will. This is a very hurtful stage. Oh my goodness. Okay, so then... Okay, both of Gogeta's attacks will affect him. And then both of the Super Saiyan 4s will do damage. Okay, so what we're dealing with is the Vegetos that have the hardest hitting attack that we're going to get would be this one right here, and it's not going to do anything. All of the additional attacks that we get for both of these guys on this rotation are not going to do anything. And then the 2 units that are free to attack as much as they want. Obviously, we don't need to worry about UI Goku because he's slot 7. He's not going to face off against this enemy. But only his 18 key would do a damage as well. So the only 2 units that are going to be able to freely attack without any limitations are one unit that we haven't had on rotation the entire fight, so he hasn't built up much at all, and then a unit that has type disadvantage. So this is going to be really, really scary right here. This could seal our fate. Could. Because we're also dealing with 130 million HP and the same amount of damage reduction. So, yikes. Yikes. This is going to be quite scary at this point. Man. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if it's maybe going to be a misplay to, like... Okay, so first thing... Yeah, none of the additionals matter. So we might as well give him more attack power, because he does get the 100% attack by being in slot 2. So I guess that's the right play here. We'll do that. We'll grab these. And we really need to make sure that the Super Saiyan 4s get some Rainbow Orbs on that next turn. Shoot. Okay, so if we grab these, we can get all the Tech Orbs with the Vegito right here at the end. Yeah, and then I guess the gods are just gonna get the one... Oh, wait. Hold on. The 18 key won't do anything. So it's almost better if I just get a 12 key. Because we know it'll at least do some damage, right? And then that way I can select all those key spheres with the LR Super Saiyan 4s on the next turn. Maybe that's the best idea there. Maybe. Unfortunately, we're only able to get the one Rainbow Key Sphere, which really does suck. Obviously, I would want more for them to be able to get the crits, but the Rainbow Key Spheres haven't really been in our favor pretty much for the entirety of this fight, so... Alright, and then here we go. Pain. None of these additionals are gonna do anything. Ugh. Okay, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to see how much damage we've done at the end of this turn, but I might end up just using that item on the next turn. Because, you know, looking forward, there's no other enemy, like, boss abilities all the way until, I think it would be stage 40, where we'd be facing off against one that nullifies damage from Ki Blast supers, which is not going to be nearly as detrimental. And then, yeah, there's basically no boss abilities through the end of the fight at that point. So, yeah, that would be... this is probably one of the most hurtful phases for us. And hopefully it wouldn't have been a blunder for us to have just used... or not used an item on this turn, right? Because obviously the item is only going to do so much for us. Okay, I mean, he still is below 50% HP. Just barely. But he is below 50%. And then we do have all of the attacks that we're going to get with the LR Super Saiyan 4s here. So maybe we'll be fine. Just maybe. We do get the 24 key with them. We get the one Rainbow Key Sphere, which is nice. And then, yeah, for this unit, I should probably just prioritize getting the 18 key. Okay, I think we can do this. The last time we faced off against an STR enemy, the Super Saiyan 4s surprised me with how much damage they do. So we're just going to pray that they do the same thing again here. And then, yeah, I guess we just grab this one orb and then all these. Right? Because he was, yeah, any of his attacks will be able to do damage here. Okay, and then we also have to remember that our attack stat on this friend Vegito is so ridiculously high that even his 12 keys are going to do some damage here. And he is getting at least the one guaranteed additional from being in slot 2, right? So we know we're going to get at least 2 attacks off with him. We should be fine. Yeah. While this phase was a little bit scary, I think we're still going to be good enough here. Let's see. What's the damage output looking like? Yeah, we should be fine. Surely we'll be okay here. Especially because worse comes to worse, if all else fails, we do have the Gogeta in the 3rd slot there that had a really good turn of Key Sphere selection, and he's got type advantage, right? Okay, so I think I was a little bit over scared than what I needed to be for that rotation, but definitely that could have spelled disaster, right? If we had just ignored that effect and played normally, then possibly we could have, could have not KO'd or whatever. So, okay, well, there we go. That worked out. Okay, so on to stage 31. We are cooking here. Wow, we are doing mighty good things, aren't we? Okay, let's see. Does Namek Goku have his extra additional? I don't believe so. Oh, he does, actually. He does. No, wait. He doesn't. He doesn't get the additional this turn. We want him in slot 1 then. So he can get the additional, especially because he has type advantage on this phase. We definitely want to see that. And then I think I want to give the LR Gods a really good turn too. So let's go ahead and just select the 1 orb with him. He'll get the 18 key. We can get all these for the Gods. Hopefully we'll be seeing some nice critical hits with them. And then, yeah, look at that. The Super Saiyan 4s are going to have a really nice turn of key as well. I guess we'll grab this one and hope that all those STR orbs drop properly the next turn after we select the physicals. Yeah, I guess there is some funkiness with Namek Goku because having that ability activate for 4 turns really does hurt him, I guess. Just because you do have that turn where, you know, I guess every so often when you have to get the turn or the ability active again, you're either going to have to put him in slot 1 to get the extra super then, or, well, but if you put him in slot 2 or 3, then he gets the extra super anyway, and the attack bonus. So maybe it's better to always leave him in slot 2, because he would have gotten a guaranteed additional on this turn anyway, and then he would have procced the other additional, but it would have just been for next turn. But it still would proc either way, and we would have had the same amount of additionals, but then we would have had 100% extra attack. So yeah, maybe it is better just to always leave Namek Goku in slot 2, no matter what. Because we didn't actually get anything more this turn. I'm not 100% sure. I think that probably is the right choice, though. But just given the way the key spheres worked out on this turn, because it's not going to make like a huge difference either way, I think it made sense to prioritize the LR Gods in slot 2. Okay, and then this turn should be pretty easy for us. Oh, wow, we're getting another Dokkan attack, too. Okay. Not a terrible thing, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and do something for the interest of time. I'm just not going to select any of the orbs. Because a Dokkan attack is the longest attack animation in the game. Because of how low the enemy's HP pool is here, we know that we're going to, no matter what, we're going to KO with this Dokkan attack. So if you don't select any of the orbs right here, then it doesn't actually make you select through the 7, and then it doesn't do all the screen cracks and stuff. It'll just do a normal super attack animation for you. And then, yeah, you're chilling there. And then that will also mean that we get the extra additional attack for another stat raise, which is as important as ever at this point. Okay. So yeah, LR God slot 1. Oh wow, that's actually a really good turn for them. The 3 rainbow orbs, the full 24 key. Love that. And then, again, we want to be trying to think about next turn. So, we'll grab that 1 orb with Goku, and then we can grab all these. Nice, and then we've got plenty of yellow, and we've got plenty of green for the next turn there. That's perfect. Okay, so this is phase 32. We're still looking at... Oh, okay, so after facing the Kid Buu, his HP actually dropped down to 130 million, which makes sense because of that annoying ability that he has. Right after that, against the LR Gods, we faced off against 160 million, and then this phase is also 160 million, with 60% damage reduction. Let's see. Does continue to go up. I was gonna say, are we at 60% damage reduction for, like, the rest of the fight? But no. Yeah, it looks like for the next, like, 5 phases here, we're gonna be at 160 million HP with 60% damage reduction. That's not really gonna change. All the way until our next dual unit enemy phase, which is not going to be until phase 36, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 36 is going to be the next time that things change for us. So all the way till from 30 to 35 is going to be a pretty consistent run here. So it looks like it's just giving us a little bit of a break, a little bit of a buffer, allowing us to get some more stacks on our units and stuff until that time. Oh, wow. Are we actually going to one-turn this phase? We might. That is looking quite impressive. Holy moly. We managed to not only one-turn it, but we only needed the first 2 units. That's quite insane. But that's obviously the power of the Namek Goku with... Oh, well, not quite. Not quite. That's actually good, though, because then we get a stack for Gogeta here. Okay. But yeah, having all the abilities active with Dynamic Goku, right? We had the guaranteed additional from him getting hit in slot 1 last turn, and then because he was in slot 2 this turn, he had both of the guaranteed additional stacked on top of each other. Okay. We don't really have a choice with the Key Sphere selection, because it's either we get this right here, or we get basically nothing. So we kind of have to just pull the trigger on that one, and hope for the best. Okay, 4 orbs. Yeah, we actually did get really lucky there. So there we go. And then how do we set up for next turn? We know we're going to need 4 type Key Spheres, or... Yeah, we probably got to do this. I think that's kind of our only option. Just to make sure we have something to select for the LR Gods, right? The amount of rainbow orbs we got here, though, is really good. That's going to provide quite a few additionals for us and stuff, which will be quite helpful. Okay, yeah, this is probably going to be another 1 turn then. Just considering Vegito has type advantage here. Yeah, up to 62 million attack stat. Definitely good, definitely good. And it is over for you, Cell. You are donezo. Which that actually works out really well, because then on this next turn, we're going to have type advantage with the LR Gods, because we're facing off against the Int enemy. Oh, I'm silly. I meant I was not keeping track of our rotations properly. Whoops. This actually works out really not good, because we have type disadvantage with half the team. Okay, yeah, so this is already looking like one of those turns where we're probably not going to one turn this phase, just because the orb selection's not great. Yeah, and again here I'm wondering if we can fix that by selecting orbs with Namek Goku first, if we were to do this. But he gets that extra 100% attack in slot 2. I feel like it's really just not worth him ever being out of slot 2, honestly. And then especially on this turn where he has the extra link active with them. Yeah, okay, let's just go ahead and do this. It's fine. We've got another turn after anyway, so worst comes to worst, we can just make that happen. Alright, so we'll grab all of these orbs, and then I guess just the 2 tech orbs? Nah, this'll get him the 20. But it won't set up for next turn very well if we grab all these. This will set up for next turn much better. I think that's a wiser choice. Yeah. So that we've got all those blue orbs to select. I think that's definitely the correct decision. Oh, oh. Oh, we dodged. We dodged. I thought he dodged us. I looked over at the enemy abilities to see if I missed something. But yeah, no. We were the ones who dodged that attack. Okay. Definitely will take all the crits I can get here. That is going to be massively helpful. Okay, we are still steadily raising stats with this Goku. You know, he doesn't stack by like an insane amount every turn, like not as much as the Vegito and stuff, but he does just get so many additionals that it's very helpful having him on rotation. Like, I will say I'm pretty impressed with his ability here. Of every unit on the team, he is overperforming more than anyone else of what I would have expected, right? And then, honestly, the LR Gods are underperforming a little bit, in my opinion. They just keep getting really, really unlucky with the Key Sphere selection. I feel like there's been a lot more turns where we haven't gotten the LR Gods the, 20 key that they need. Okay, so as much as I would like to get the Rainbow Orb for them, we kind of need to prioritize this to get the extra additional instead. So let's do that. And then, I guess, yeah, we kind of have to do this with them too. Oh, those purples should fall neatly though. No, they didn't. Okay, well, that's fine. We can at least get the 20 key threshold that we need for everybody, right? So we're definitely going to move on to the next phase. No question about that. Okay, and then it looks like we're going to be facing off against an AGL enemy on the next phase, so it is a little bit unfortunate that we have Gogeta here now, just because he would be our strongest AGL attacker, right? That is not the best, not the most ideal thing. Oof, no normals. We never want to see normals. Those don't give us stacks. I would honestly rather them just not attack at all if they're going to do a normal. That way it could go to the next attacker and they could get a super attack stack, right? Okay. So another shoddy turn where we're unable to get the amount of key that we need for the LR Gods. I guess part of the problem is that they're linked up with Namek Goku, and that just doesn't give them the attack links, or the, like, key links that they need, right? Because if they were linked up here in the middle, then they would at least be able to get. Maybe I should do that this time. Sacrifice the additional with Namek Goku and give it to the LR Gods instead. Maybe that would be smart. I think I do like that idea because it's also going to help me set up the board a little bit better for next turn. Yeah, fine. Let's do that. So we'll grab the one orb with him, and then that way we can grab all of these orbs to get them what they need. And then, yeah, now we have our pick of the litter here, because it doesn't really matter what we select with UI Goku. We just got to make sure to free up some space on the board for whoever's coming up. So let's do this. And then all those purples will be good to select. Yeah, that'll be good. Alright, and again, our defense is just way too high. They can't do any damage to us, so we are chilling here. Oh, and this is phase 35, right? 31, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. This is phase 35. So starting at this very next phase here, phase 40, is when we're going to have the charges go up, I believe? Or is it one after that? I can't remember. Gonna have to look and see here. Okay, wow. Quite a nasty turn. Kind of absolutely destroying things here. Maybe we did make the right choice by putting the LR God slot 2 there. We almost one-turned it. I wonder if we actually will still one-turn it. Let's see what UI Goku's got in his back pocket. I highly doubt it's going to be enough, but we'll see. Maybe he'll surprise us. He does basically have guaranteed crits, so... Yeah, he did an additional. Alright. No big deal, no big deal. He is building up that key again for us, though. That's pretty nice. Alright. So he did survive. He did ultimately end up surviving the rotation. So that just means we're going to have a little bit of fun here. I guess we'll just prioritize selecting same type orbs then. Yeah, no problem. Okay, yeah, so looking at the event details online, it looks like on stage 40 itself, we still have 6 charges, and then starting at stage 41, we'll have the 9 charges to go with. Okay, so yeah, this is stage 40 right here, against the Gammas. Okay, so this is going to be the hardest phase yet, because we are facing off against 2 enemies that have 100 million HP each. Whereas on the last phase, all we were dealing with was 160 total. So now we have 200 million total here. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Alright, so yeah, I think we want to keep UI Goku slot 2 as usual. Okay, we're lucky enough, or not UI Goku, Namek Goku. We're lucky enough here with the gods to get the 3 green orbs so they can actually get that 20 key off. Then, oh man, this is tough. Because I really do want to try to prioritize orbs for next turn, but I also want to make sure that Gogeta gets all those blue orbs. So I guess with that, we'll just grab same type orbs with everybody then. Sure. Do that. And then I guess in the off chance we don't kill Gamma 2, I would rather him do type advantage attacks there. Yeah. Okay. I think we did get decently lucky here. That was a really solid turn of orb selection. And we've got another relentless phase to come right after. We are about to face off against... Oh, actually... It looks like it gets a little bit easier on the next phase, weirdly enough. I'm not so sure why they would do something like that, but okay. Interesting. So yeah, on this phase, we're dealing with 200 million HP pools with the Gammas, right? Okay, there we go. That is Gamma 2 down. And then, yeah, so 100 million on each of them with 60% damage reduction. And then on the next phase, we're facing off against Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan. Well, Ultimate Gohan. And then they have 90 million HP and 60 million HP. So it just gets, like, a lot easier on this next phase for some reason. And on top of that, we're going to have 3 charges, or like 3 turns worth of charges to take them down instead of only 2. And their attack power, let's see, their defense goes up by like a tiny bit, and their attack power is exactly the same. Yeah, or, oh, I guess their attack power goes up a little bit, because their super attack power goes up a bit too. Weird. Very weird. But yeah, overall, I would say this next phase is about to be dramatically easier. Okay, and that still only took us 1 turn there. I would say that because of how not difficult that one was, this one shouldn't be either. I guess the problem here, though, is that we have UI Goku, so this might actually take us 2 turns. Oh, did I miscount the phases? Because, starting at phase 41, we're supposed to have 9 charges. So I guess this is phase 40. Maybe I miscounted, and then that was 39. And this is 40. Hold on here. If Kid Buu was 35, then that's 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. I must have been massively miscounting then, if we're still only at phase 40 right now. Okay, whoops, that is my bad then, I guess. Okay, so then this is surely phase 40. Based on the way that this wiki is set up, it makes sense this would be phase 40. Okay, well, regardless, doesn't really make too much of a difference. Alright. The orbs are really, really bad. Like, very bad for us. Dang, what do we do here? The orbs are so bad. Okay, so we want to make sure to at least get super attacks off with everyone. One thing we could potentially do is this, because if we select that orb, they'll at least get a 12 key. But no, that's just horrible for our attack output for the turn. I don't like that idea. Because if we do the one orb here, this does drop all the AGL orbs so that we can get a really nice selection with the next character. But then, as you see here, he doesn't even get the super attack. So at least we would want to do this for him to super. But if we did this, that's another option. Okay, so if we do this... Actually, the orbs might fall decently on this other side for us to get a good selection with Vegito. Oh man, this is gonna suck. Because yeah, if we select these orbs, then we get nothing. There's still nothing available for Vegito. So our best chance for Vegito to get some decent attacks in this turn is this. Yeah, it's still gonna be the same. Okay, so let's... yeah, that's all we have, though. We can't... I mean, we could just grab the one orb here for him. But we still have to select orbs with UI Goku, too. So let's just get these. Maybe we should save the rainbows, all those rainbows, for next turn. Yeah, I think I like that idea. Okay, let's grab... Man, that really sucks. Okay. Let's grab those, and then... Should we grab the 2 purples right here to free up all those blue orbs on the side? Probably, right? But that just means that the LR gods aren't going to have any rainbows, but they'll at least be at 24 keys. So yeah, that's good. All right, let's go ahead and do that then. Okay, and this is one of those moments where there is definitely going to be a turn 2, right? With such a bad turn of orb selection, there's no way we one-turn this. Though their HP pool did drop pretty considerably, so we only have like 150 million to deal overall. We'll see, we'll see. So far, doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Yeah. There is absolutely no way. We are still going to get a massive amount of damage in here, though, which will help. So that next turn won't look so scary. And yeah, I guess I suppose as long as we can take out Ultimate Gohan here, then that's going to be helpful. Oh, that last little sliver didn't take him out. No. So that whole bunch of damage could have gone on to Orange Piccolo, but instead only went on to the Ultimate Gohan. But that's okay, because Orange Piccolo does have less HP of the two of them. The Ultimate Gohan had 90 million, and then the Orange Piccolo only has 60 million. So it is going to be a little easier to get through his HP on this next turn. So we're definitely like way more than half of their total HP, you know, dwindled down. Okay. Let's see here. So I think this is one of those times where I'm going to put Namek Goku in the first slot. Because one, we're gonna like win the turn regardless, right? There's no like doubting that. And I can't remember if his little additional ability is up or not. It might be. I think it's showing the additional symbol there, so I'm pretty sure it is. But in the off chance that it wasn't, then we would at least get to proc that for the next turn, so that would be available. Okay, yeah. This is going to be fine. Okay, yeah, so it looks like the ability already was active. No big deal, though. No big deal. It's not going to make too much of a difference which slot things were around. Okay, and then that should be phase 40 complete. Let me just double count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Huh? We must have been miscounting like crazy. I am very confused. So was that not stage 40 either? Let's see. Where are... That still wasn't stage or phase 40. Wow, we must have miscounted somewhere horribly. Because if PyCon was 25, that was 26, that was 27, 28, 29, then Kid Buu would have been 30. Oh, because Kid Buu was 30, not 35. That's where I was messing myself up. And 36, 37, 38, 39. But then that still would make Cooler phase 40. Oh wait, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Why do I keep doing that? Okay, 35, so then 36, 37. Okay, so this is phase 38. And then phase 39 will be against the GT boys, and then phase 40 will be that one that nullifies Ki Blast Supers. Okay. Cool. I guess I'm just dyslexic or something. Okay, so... Yeah, we're on phase 38 now. 38. I guess that's something else we need, is a phase counter, right? We've got a turn counter, but it would be nice if you could open this up and see which phase you're on of the enemy. That'd be kind of cool. Or, like, even if you had the ability... I wonder if there's a way to view, like, the details, the event details, to see, like, a list of all the enemies and stuff. Probably not in battle. That would be quite helpful, though. Okay, let's continue chugging along here. Okay, so we're probably just going to want to select these with the gods. Unfortunately, we can't get that 20 key for them. But there's so many attacks up front, we really can't risk putting anyone else there. We got to keep it like this. Okay, yeah, so I guess we'll just get the 18 key for them then. Which... Yeah, we at least want to make sure to get the 18 key. And then... that will get them to 20. I think actually like this is going to make the blues drop better. Yeah, because the yellow orb will fill that corner spot. And then we can get all these blues with them. Okay. Okay, so the orb field is decent, but not amazing for next turn. Alright, so now we're looking at kind of a massive increase. We're up to 180 million HP, which is only a massive increase because we're against one enemy again, right? Obviously, it was still ramping itself up a little bit on those next two turns where we were facing off against two enemies, but now we're just against the one. And then their attack output of 590 and super attack damage of 1.6 million. Definitely not too much to worry about. We are up to 65% damage reduction now, though. Dang, that is climbing quite handedly. Okay, we're definitely still fine here. Which means we should be fine on the next phase as well, because it's basically equivalent. Only a slight difference in the defense number creeping up, but everything else is exactly the same, right? So this next phase shouldn't be too difficult either. Okay. We can get the 24 key with them either way. So we might as well grab these. That way we can also get a 24 key with Namek Goku. And then here... Oh yeah, that actually works out perfect. We can grab same type orbs there. And then boom. Oh, this is huge. Something really awesome just happened. Looking at where the Dokkan gauge is at this point, the next phase is going to be phase 40. where we are going to be facing off against the 23rd World Tournament Goku, who is going to be able to nullify damage from Ki Blast Supers. Now, obviously, the Kid Buu was the biggest detriment for us because of nullifying the unarmed super attacks, which a lot of our units did depend on those unarmed super attacks to be able to do damage. So that's kind of big for them. For the Kid Buu, anyway. But yeah, so having him nullify Ki Blast Supers, we'll go ahead and look through our units again at the beginning of this next phase and see what we're working with. But I can't imagine that we're gonna have too much trouble at this point. Just because we don't have that many Ki Blast super attacks on the team, I don't think. Not nearly as many as the unarmed super attacks that we did, right? But yeah, we do have the Dokkan attack that looks like we're going to be able to proc on the next turn. So that will definitely help us with that phase for sure, right? We'll just have to make sure to not proc the Dokkan attack on a Ki Blast super. Because I'm pretty sure he would just nullify it, right? And we wouldn't do any damage. Because obviously, like, dodge... the Dokkan attack disables attack evasion. So there would be no way that he could, like, nullify the attack, or no way that he could like dodge it or something. It's guaranteed to hit, but I think with an attack nullification he would still eat it for 0. I think you still can't like that attack like do any damage to him, right? Oh shoot, now we're running into the problem where we might do the Dokkan attack here instead. Oops, because we didn't actually finish off that phase. Well, that sucks. I can't play around with it like this, where we just pretend and, like, try not to get super attacks, because there's no way for me to avoid getting a super attack with, the Vegetos. All these rainbow orbs on the left kind of screw that up. And the fact that there's tech orbs available and stuff. Yeah, so we can't avoid getting a first super attack and then just depend on additionals to get us through this turn. So we have no choice but to select orbs here. I guess we'll just try not to select any same type orbs in hopes that that Dokkan attack doesn't pop, but it looks like it's gonna. No. No, please. And there it goes. Okay, well, we're not gonna have that to depend on this next turn, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Okay, but one good thing we do have going for us is that the Namek Goku is coming up next turn, and he'll have type advantage against the Goku here. He does also drop his HP by quite a bit. Instead of having the 180 million that we're going against on these last two phases, he's only going to be down to 140 million, which helps make up for that ability a little bit. Alright, and then we went with the same strat of just skipping out on any of the Dokkan attack selection stuff to give us some additional stacks for the turn, since we're guaranteed to finish it. He had such little HP at the start of the turn, there was no way. Wow, we're up to 70 million attack stat on this guy. That is quite insane. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now on to phase 40. Actually phase 40 this time. And in fact, there's something that I'm looking at on the wiki right now that is a pretty clear indicator that we're on phase 40 and that phase 41 is starting next. So we'll go over that in a second, assuming we get through this. Alright, so let's go ahead and double check where all our Ki Blast Supers are. So this guy's got a Ki Blast Super only on his 12 Ki, so that's not too much of a threat. They don't have any Ki Blasts, and he does not have any Ki Blasts. No Ki Blast there. No Ki Blast here. And then Vegito shouldn't have any as well, right? Oh, his 12 Ki is Ki Blast. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like just the 10th anniversary LRs have their 12 Keys or Ki Blasts, and that's it. So yeah, we're gonna have a much easier time with this than we did with the Kid Buu phase, right? Okay. I guess we'll go ahead and select these. And then I am just considering for next turn as well how we might want things set up. So we'll grab these orbs, and then we can get this little bit with Gogeta. Yeah, that'll be nice. Now the board looks nice and pretty for next turn, just in case. But I think there's a really good chance that we one turn this here, because his HP did drop by a bit, and we have type advantage with the Namek Goku here. Oh yeah. It's looking more than possible that we one turn this here. I don't think we're gonna have too much trouble with this at all. Oof. All right. Yeah, we're definitely a shoo-in to take this down now, right? That's, we haven't even gotten to the second unit on the turn, and he's already less than half of his HP left, so that is good. Okay, so things are about to change quite dramatically here. As we go on to phase 41, we are going to have, not only are we going to have, well, we get the extra turn now, right? So now we're going to have a third turn to be able to deal attacks for the entire rest of the fight, I believe. But on top of that, the enemy's HP pools just jumped like a massive amount. Oh, and their attack power. Nice. Okay, so on the last phase, what we were dealing with was 140 million HP. Now it's 400 million HP. That's insane. And the attack power just went up a lot too. So now their base attack is going to be 1.2 million with damage, with super attack damage of 3.3 million instead of like 640 million and 1.7 million. So that, yeah, the enemies just got massively stronger here. Which means that our defense numbers with the Vegetos are actually going to be a little scary. Actually, because of that, I think we probably need to stop stacking attack with Vegito, and we need to start stacking defense. So let's, yeah, because with the tag switch, I think instead of raising attack every turn and getting the one-turn defense, we're doing the opposite, where we raise defense every turn permanently. I think we need to do this at least for a couple turns just to get him built up a little bit. His attack stat is obviously so high already that we don't have to worry about that too much. But yeah, we really need to get that guy some defense at this point. Okay, so now the only thing that sucks here is that the orbs are kind of bad for this first selection. So I guess we're just going to have to deal with the not getting the 18 key with them. Hopefully we're able to at least get the 18 key with them. Yeah, there we go. That is really important for us to get, right? Okay, so we'll do that. And then, I'm just trying to think forward to next turn, right? Yeah, I think this is probably the best idea to get us moving forward in the right direction. Okay, so we do have 3 turns, so we don't have to panic too hard about, like, how much damage we're doing to these guys, right? We only did 1 attack? Oh, God. Well, that's definitely not putting us off to the right start. Definitely not. That's quite alright, though. Okay, so they had a... Let's see, they have a cooldown of 10 and a max super attack of 1 per turn. Now we're going to have to start paying attention to this a little bit, right? So at least we know we're safe for the turn. We're not going to take a KO here. I guess unless UI Goku gets hit. That would be, like, the main thing. But yeah, they should have enough defense going forward. Obviously, they would have still been in danger of dying to a super attack, but because it's just normals, they're going to be fine here. So yeah, we'll give them a couple extra turns to keep building up defense until we get them to a comfy defense number, and then, actually, I don't even know if there's going to be a comfy defense number for them. At least over 1 million. At least over 1 million is where I want to be. Because the last, like, 4 or 5 phases just hit so freaking hard. Yeah, wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. Probably more than 1 million, to be honest with you. Looking forward at those next fights, probably more than 1 million is where we're going to want them. And then, yeah, same deal with him, with the friend one. Even though he is just in the friend slot, we are going to switch him to defense and start getting him some defense stacks. I think that's going to work best for us. Okay, so let's grab all these for the LR gods. We can get these orbs, which will allow us to get a 24 key with Vegito here. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so we're gonna have a much higher damaging rotation on this turn, so we don't really need to panic that we haven't gotten through a third of his HP yet. Okay, perfect, and then he's already launching his super again. Wasting it early, so we know we're gonna live in that third and final slot there with Vegito. Okay, so yeah, the good thing is that we had a really bad first turn there. So we shouldn't have to worry too much about actually being able to deplete the full HP pools for this guy. I think we'll be able to. The bad news is that it only gets worse from here. Every single turn for the next, like, 5 phases, the HP is just going to be going up by 50 million. So we're on 400 million now. Then it goes 450, 500, 550, 600. Wow. And then it drops down again on phase 45 because the enemy can evade you. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Wow. Yeah, we have gotten to the very, very tough portions of this fight now, haven't we? Holy moly. Yeah, we're easily going to be over 3 hours on the recording timer. I probably do need to start moving a little quicker just to make sure that my computer can even handle rendering the video. This is going to be quite long at this point. Alright, yeah, and it looks like right away we are going to be taking all 3 turns, right? This wasn't one of the things that we suffered once we went to the 2-phase portion of the fight. After, like, phase 15, where we were able to do 2 turns. We didn't really need the 2 turns for a while, but it looks like now we're pretty much going to be depending on the 2 turns. Okay, yeah, so our defense is definitely not high enough with him yet. We're going to continue to stack like this for the next few turns as we can. We get a little bit of a better orb selection that time with the LR gods, so that's good. Or with the Super Saiyan 4s, I mean. Alright, and yeah, with each of these phases being 3 turns, we're definitely going to get another Dokkan attack off at some point. Which will be nice. And then, I guess since we're getting that close, 48... Okay, so it's only the last 2 phases, 49 and 50, that are going to allow us to use 12 charges. So, that's good to know. Yeah, we're gonna have to, like, do a real hard think if we do get to that point in the fight. Basically, if we get to phase 45 plus... because the HP pools just get so freaking ridiculous at that point. I'm not sure. And the attack stats just go up so insanely high. Yeah, wow. The attack output is just getting insane over the next few turns. It's going up by 200k every turn. So as we increase by 50 million HP, the base attack stats for normals is also going to be increasing by 200k. So yeah, this is going to get quite nasty. Alright, and again, the super attack comes out. Oh, actually, it came out against the wrong attacker. That was not where we wanted to see it, right? Okay, yeah, so we are in a bit of a scary spot here now. Just because... Oof. Because we barely, what's it called? We barely finished him in the 3 turns, and now we're dealing with 50 million HP more. So now we have 450 million HP. He's got a base attack stat of 1.4 million, and his super attack will do 3.9 million to us. So, yeah. We're still sitting pretty with these guys. I mean... okay, HP-wise, we're doing good, too. back to full pretty easily since we have millions of defense to work with, right? But yeah, we really got to think about orbs for next turn too, so I don't think that we can just freely select whatever here. We kind of got to be careful. I think we have to do this. Just to save the rainbow orbs for next turn is probably going to be smart. Yeah. I guess it's nice that we have the revive active, like, just in case we need that. But, obviously... Well, I mean, I guess the only unit on the rotation that is even capable of taking a KO would be the UI Goku, so it is nice that we do have that. That is definitely good. And then, I guess we get a little bit of a break on this phase because we have type advantage with the two Vegetos that have really, really weak defense. And then it looks like the next two phases after that are going to be STR, so we'll get a little bit of a break with the Gogeta defense-wise. But yeah, so I guess it is going to be a little easier for us. Int is kind of one of our worst typings, right? Just because we have 3 of our units on the team are tech units, including 2 of our main rotation units. So int units are kind of the worst ones to face off against. So I guess that's why that looked the most scary for us right there. And then AGL is a pretty easy typing for the exact same reason. Yeah, I can't imagine we're going to struggle too hard. And in fact, it looks like we might even be able to clear this in 2 turns only, rather than just 3. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know that that's going to be a good thing for us at this point. It probably will be best if we can take all 3 turns every time. So we'll see. Alright, UI Goku, do your stuff. Show out, buddy. Doing such measly amounts of damage at this point. But yeah, now we're basically late enough in the fight where it would be really scary if... No. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, he got hit. He got hit. In the middle of me saying how scary it would be if we had, you know, a unit on rotation that, like, you know, couldn't handle getting hit. And we do have one, so that's quite scary. Okay. So we're not gonna get... This turn actually looks a little scary. Because we took all that damage. We might straight up be KO'd right here. I think that that is possible. We are going to raise our defense with both of these guys, but he just launched his super at the end of that turn. Let's see. He has a cooldown of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I don't think he can super on this turn, so maybe we will be okay. But his super attack damage, or his normal attack stat is 1.4 million. And if you look at our defense numbers, we are not there. Obviously, post super attack, that'll be different. Yeah, wow. Let's see. We still have another turn after this. I'm tempted to just not even give them the extra orbs here because I want to make sure to get 24 keys with the other guys. Yeah, I think that's going to be the smart way to do it. We do have to play this one turn defensively. We really can't mess around too hard with trying to maximize attack on this turn. I think that's the better way to go. Yeah, to make sure both of them can get 18 keys to raise that defense as much as possible. That's going to be our best bet to survive this turn. Yeah, wow. I can definitely see what they were saying here about the hardest fight in Dokkan history. And obviously the thing that sucks about it is like it only really got difficult now. Once we hit this phase 40 and the HP pools got massive and stuff. So the fact that there's no way to load in at phase 40 and just face the last 10 phases, like if it were just these last 10 phases, it would still be the hardest fight in history. Which obviously the whole reason they need to give you the first 40 phases is to be able to stack with all these units. Otherwise, it would be physically impossible to clear. But yeah, the fact that you have to go through like 2 hours of fighting in order to get to this point is really tough. But yeah, like, we're not to the point yet where we can use items, because it just ramps up so freaking hard in those last couple of phases. I don't even think we can consider using items until, like, phase 45. Or 46 would probably be the first point where we could consider using an item. Yeah, wow. Okay. So now we gotta show out with the attack here. These numbers are looking so ridiculous. We're at, what, 16 million defense and 9 million defense? That's kind of insane. Which is actually something that we need, because the very last phase of a fight, the last 2 phases, have an attack stat of 7 million. So their normals are going to be hitting for 7 million. So yeah, I mean, honestly, keeping that in mind, we're probably not even set up properly to handle that at this point. We would need to, like, keep Vegito on rotation or something to start raising his defense, just to get him upwards of those, like, crazy numbers. Maybe we did blunder a little bit there in the middle, and we should be, like, raising defense where we can too, as opposed to just overloading with attack. I wonder if, because of that, it could be smart for me to keep Vegito on rotation at this point. Or at least let me double check what his stats are doing. So we're doing the greatly raising attack. And he only gets the permanent defense stacks on the tag switch, right? Yeah, he's getting the permanent defense raises on the tag switch. So let's go ahead and tag switch him, so we're at least getting defense raises. But again, should I keep him on rotation at this point and, like, get rid of Namek Goku? I feel like we can't, because we're not going to be finishing off the enemy in enough turns at that point. We would have need to make that switch a little bit earlier. So maybe, you know, maybe this could be just a big... we'll keep playing it with this strat for this time, but I'm pretty sure it's going to get us KO'd. So we'll just have to keep that in mind for future runs. That it would be smart to, you know, to actually, like, kind of rotate our rotations a little bit and give everybody a chance to build up. Just thinking, like, defensively, because, like, the LR Gods, the LR Super Saiyan 4s, and Namek Goku, their defense numbers are high enough already that even the very final phases of the fight probably wouldn't do much to them. Let me see. I mean, I guess if they got super attacked, they could still take damage. The last 3 phases are doing, like, 17 million, 24 million. It's hard to say. These numbers are just so overtuned, and they ramp up so quickly in these last couple of phases. I'm really not sure. Because obviously, if we were sharing the love between all of our units and kind of rotating different units off and stuff to give everybody a chance to build up a little bit, then we might have even discovered that, like, at these turns right here, everybody's a little bit undertuned, and we weren't able to, you know, do enough attack power to, like, finish off the enemy here. Because we're already barely getting through this in the 3 turns, right? Okay, and here we are. We've got 3 more turns, but we just went up by another 50 million HP, so we've got 500 million HP to get through this rotation. Okay, again, nice that we do have the revive active, I guess, with our HP being low is good. So if Goku does end up taking a hit there, then we're going to revive at least. I'm just trying to think about the best way to get orbs here. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to have much luck here on this rotation. That kind of sucks. Okay, well, I guess we'll go with that. The 2 rainbow orbs might help us get some crits with the Super Saiyan 4s. And then we just got to think about next turn. So we'll grab that. And there's no forcing that rainbow orb. That's going to hurt there. So yeah, I guess we'll just do this. Free up those tech orbs for the gods. Okay, super attack coming in right away. Again, we should still be safe. I guess we kind of are at the point where we do need to start checking defense numbers, because that was a 4.48 million damage super attack. So yeah, it's not like it was just free and easy for us to tank that. Obviously, our defense is high enough, but I don't know by how much. So we will we'll start paying closer attention to that. And I didn't bother checking the defense stat for them because there was no attacks going on them at this turn anyway. We know it needs to be higher, so we're just, you know, continue on like normal. Unfortunately, we didn't get the 18 key super, so they only got a 1 defense raise there, and not even a great defense raise, which is kind of hurtful. Okay, and then we'll see if UI Goku can dodge all of this. Obviously, I want to keep the revive available as long as possible, so hopefully UI Goku is able to dodge all of these. Okay, and then there you go. We should be at 100% chance to dodge now, so he's good. Okay, so that first turn, we definitely didn't do enough damage. We gotta do more damage than that. That is a guarantee. Okay, so here we're gonna get, let's see, like, what's our defense stat at? 8.5 million. So they are gonna heal up quite a bit. Oh yeah, just back to 100. Okay, so there goes the revive. We would have to get hit again, which I hope we don't get hit again, because I'm pretty sure at this point the enemy's attack stat has gone up high enough that if Goku gets hit, we're just gonna get one shot. So that is probably sayonara to the active skill or to the revive capability for the rest of the fight. Alright, and then I guess we grab the 1 orb here with them. Yeah, get the 1 orb, and then that way we can get all these. Yeah, because I'll get the additional with the 20 key, and we really, really want that at this point, right? Their defense is so low. In fact, we might get KO'd here. I know I keep saying that, and there is definitely a threat of that, like, consistently coming in. But yeah, I think it is very possible that we get KO'd. No, actually, because their defense isn't quite that low, because they're going to raise it significantly after super attacking a bunch, right? So that will at least help them a bit. But yeah, I guess now the threat is, like, do we even do enough damage to make it through this phase? Because we've got, what, 1 turn left after this, right? It's just going to be 1 turn. So yeah, we're going to have to get him lowered pretty dramatically. He's not even down to 50% HP yet. And we're only going to have that 1 turn left, so yikes, I guess. Yeah, we're not getting those crits. Ugh. Okay, so he's just barely below 50% HP, and we have... Well, okay, so we still do have a couple more attacks coming in here, so that should certainly help. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. We do have a physical unit on the next rotation as one of our stronger attackers, so that could end up being quite scary for us. Oh no, they can't tank a super. I think we're done here. Oh man. Oh wow, they did tank it. Oh my goodness, okay. Okay, I really didn't expect to survive that. Okay, but also, like, are we gonna do enough damage here? I don't think we're gonna do enough damage to make it through, honestly. I think if we want to continue to survive here, we're gonna have to use an item. Because, yeah, he's got more than 50% HP left. We're not even going to get a 24 key with them. So, yeah, if we want any chance of surviving right now, we're going to have to use an attack-up item here. And even then, I don't know if that's going to be enough. We'll see, though. We'll see. Okay, because they're only getting the 12 key, we're going to give them the rainbow orb so that they might be able to crit. And then that actually frees up a lot of these orbs to look nice, too, so... Oh, let's see what their defense numbers are looking like. Yeah, still very low, especially the Gogeta, right? Okay, but there we go. We're back to 100% HP, and we're almost back to another Dokkan attack. So it looks like we're going to get another couple of those off, assuming we manage to survive, right? Okay, it's also turn 59. So on turns 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. So on turn 64, the Bulma item is going to roll off. We'll have to keep that in mind as well. One super attack, and they didn't crit. Yeah, I think this might be GG's right here. 91 million is certainly good. That is a very, very high attack stat, but is it going to be enough? It doesn't even look like close to enough. Oof. Yeah, I guess I can't say that I'm too surprised that this fight would be one of those things where, like, you're not beating this fight unless you've got rainbowed 10th anniversary LRs, right? Yeah, this is insane. I think we're still going to lose, even with that item usage. We're still not going to make it. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not even close. We didn't get a single critical hit from anybody this turn. That would have made all the difference in the world. So yeah, without the crits, we're just done for. So it looks like that is it. I guess stage 42 is where we are going to take the game over. All right, well, that was a nice tester run. So it looks like we got most of the missions done. We got some cool titles as well. Before we finish up, we might as well go take a look at all that stuff. So yeah, there we go. We got all of the Dragonstone missions done. We got the new wallpaper, some of these as well. So it looks like there's just a couple of Link skill orbs we'll get in here for clearing those last little bit. Cool, so we'll go ahead and collect all these. Let's go ahead and attach that new wallpaper and see how that looks. It was this one. Okay, neat. So that's our new wallpaper. Kind of not a great wallpaper if you ask me, but is what it is. I think it could be scaled up a little bit. There's just a lot of dead space around the sides here. And then, yeah, let's go take a look at those titles that we've gotten as well. As we did get a couple here now. Oh, wait, there's a filters now, right? Wait, is there not? Maybe it's only in the special titles tab where we can get the... Let's see here. Oh, were they there? Yeah, here they are. Okay, so... Oh, these ones are for some of the 10th anniversary events that I haven't finished yet. I was like, why do we have these ones in here? Okay, so then, yeah, it looks like there's just two more. So we'll get the Celebration of Festival. We'll get the purple one when we finish stage 45. And then after phase 50, we get Champion of the Festival. That one is actually really, really cool. Okay, neat. All right, well, good stuff. What a fun event. This is going to be an interesting challenge to try and conquer over time. That is going to be all for it for today, though. Just a neat showcase of how the event works and stuff. So yeah, we're probably going to be doing some... Maybe I'll do like a strategy guide for this event. Talk about some of the best units that might do well in here. But it really seems like you're going to be limited to very few select units at this point, right? Just considering what we witnessed here. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace!